Welcome back to Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. Strap back in.
Ripped from the pages of the Pastanomicon and filmed in glorious marinara vision, it is Ravioli for Randy, episode 6, Joey. Can you believe it? That's a lot.
Ooh,
It's a lot of clams.
It's a lot of clams. The money keeps on rolling in. Thank you, everybody out there in computer land, for joining us on this crazy trip. It's going to be quite a show, Neon Lord. Quite a show. I've been, I don't know, I had to put a couple of cold compresses on my eyes today. I've been blowing through sequels like they're going out of style, which they never will. The sequels are a special thing. I'm very excited for this show tonight.
Very excited to hear it. As we sit, you got the as we sit in this VHS rental store on a Saturday night, chit chatting about movies. I'm gonna throw some loops at you though. I'm gonna hit you with something real quick. Well,
Okay,
no,
go ahead.
let's do you have any news? Any RPG news? We should probably talk some business here.
Well, let's not let the proverbial cat out of the bag just yet. But me and my guy right over here, Neon Lord, we've been talking. We've been talking about making a little peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or should I say, Ninja Star and radioactive ooze sandwich. But that's all I'm going to say about that. But we've been chipping away. It's not all fun and games, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it's not all these basement conversations. We work for a living, and we're making some things that I think the people of the public are going to really enjoy. But in terms of just RPG stuff, we had a nice WHPA show.
Yeah.
That one was awesome.
Damn it! I have upstairs a lemon pie. I found one today.
You found a Hostess lemon pie?
No, not Hostess though. Tasty
All right,
cake.
explain this a little bit. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I forgot it. Dang it! I was upstairs waiting for you. I was gonna take a picture of it. Yeah, it was at Walmart. Like next to, they had chocolate, they had apple, cherry, and lemon. A lemon one.
Chocolate too?
Mm-hmm.
Like the pudding?
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand what the heck we're talking about over here, so we had I ran a WHPA, Weird Heroes of Public Access. We ran a game the other night, and of course, and I'm not sad about this, Neon Lord. It is lost to the ether.
It's Lost Media. Do you ever watch those?
Lost Media. All right, so it's gone. Something happened. I think federal agents or some of the government agents got involved, and they erased it from the web. It's not on the World Wide Web anymore. No. It lasted for like 3 seconds. So those of you that were able to see it, you were part of a very special, secretive experiment now lost to the ether. But at one part of it, actually, most of the adventure was spent in the aisles of a local Stop and Shop as the characters were searching for Hostess lemon pies to lure an alien that has crash landed in the woods. So we have been actively pursuing local establishments to find lemon pies. And the man, of course, being the post-apocalyptic scavenger that he is, found a pack of lemon pies. Have you tried it yet?
I have not. I was saving it. I was gonna do it on air. I don't know why this light is flickering, but yeah, I was gonna do it on air, but I forgot it upstairs. Maybe maybe if we get intermission, I'll grab it.
Are you a baker? Do you bake at all? Like, no, I am not. No, I am not either. Nowhere even close to it. But I'm telling you, I'm thinking about something now. Speaking about pies, thank you very much. My Gumati just brought me a little bit of iced tea. I've been thinking about maybe how hard could it be to attempt to recreate a turtle pie?
Okay, so funny you bring that up because people have done it. And there is on Instagram or one of those, maybe not Instagram. What's the other one that all the ladies use?
Like TikTok?
No, not necessarily. No, it's like before TikTok. I'm just
Twitter.
No.
AOL. Instant Messenger.
No, I'm fixing your video real quick. I had you like all like cattywampus.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
I don't want to be cattywampus.
Yeah, don't want you to get all fugazi over here. But yeah, okay, there you're better. So, Pinterest.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
So yeah, there's a Pinterest recipe on how to make the turtles one.
I've been digging deep. I've been trying to get ready for the summer as I lay out by the Royale poolside. I got to get a good ecto cooler recipe down.
Ooh, ecto cooler. Yeah, it's funny. So someone just dropped a ecto cooler line in the comments section of the Drive Through RPG for the core rules. He said this if this book was any more 90s, it would come with a free case of ecto cooler.
Wow, that's like 6 out of 5 stars right there.
That's 6 out of 5
Six
Maroons
out of
right there.
five Maroons. Cooge.
Yeah.
We gotta get Cooge on. I want to have Cooge rolls
Could you?
dice.
Oh man, could you imagine?
That would be something. The Cooge.
So, all right. So I'm gonna throw you for a loop. We got the
Yeah,
peasantries out of the way. Now
yeah,
it's
yeah.
down. Now the ball's in your court. What movie would you want a sequel for? What movie are you pining for a sequel?
Uh, oh, geez, man.
See, that's why I want to put you on the spot with it.
Well, now that you said that, I just something hit my head, and now I got to readjust. No, I can't readjust my list. I'll just get that out of the way. All right. So, a movie that I would die for a sequel for. This is an interesting question because some of my favorite movies, they're my favorites because they wrapped everything up, and to go back to revisit it would be difficult. But let's see. Off the top of my head,
Yep.
a movie I would like to see a sequel for. Uh Mandy. Mandy 2. I can't get enough of that movie.
Mandy, that's an interesting one. That's a newer one too.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about Mandy 2. Uh I would love to revisit the characters of Bottle Rocket.
Hmm. Wes
That might be
Anderson.
neat to
Wes
see how
Anderson
they
one.
age. Yeah, Wes Anderson. I'd take any Wes Anderson sequel. I think to see, as they
Rushmore.
look back and reflect on their lives as they're older, that might be cool.
Yeah.
Uh and I wish Phantasm would have another movie. You can't have enough Phantasms.
Didn't he die though, the tall man?
Yeah, Angus Scrim, rest in peace. I met him at a famous Monsters of Filmland convention when I was in 8th grade. A gentleman. Angus Scrim was a tall man, but he was a gentleman.
Gentle giant, as they say.
What about you?
So my main one, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I would
Hmm.
I would love a sequel to that.
Yes.
Princess Bride would be a cool sequel.
Well put, man. Wow, those are very nice choices.
Thank you, Mandy. I liked Mandy though. I liked Mandy a lot. I think that Psycho Gorman would be another great
Yeah,
sequel.
I think right now, I think Gorman, Mandy, and Turbo Kid.
Yeah, we got to do our obligatory Turbo Kid drop
Turbo Kid has to
every
show up.
every episode. Every
But isn't
episode.
that neat though? But those are so we're seeing a crop of movies that are these kind of they're not new genres, but there's like this new flavor, like this bubblegum. And I
Yeah.
think it allows for a world that they can expand upon. We didn't have that for a long time.
No. No. So like, but that's the thing. So like when it comes to like Phantasm and Killer Clowns from Outer Space, has the ship sailed? Would they do it justice now?
No, no, you're right. I was only joking about Phantasm because there's about a million of them.
Oh.
But you're right. Like I think it's time for some fresh properties to invest in the sequel game.
Yeah, I
Do
think
it
you're right. I think you're right. I
doing this
think
research,
yeah.
it's like, yeah, man, because the what makes a good sequel is that original capsule of number one. Like none of these movies they really had to go back to, but they went back to them to make money, obviously, but also to have fun. There was a time where like, no, that's cool. Go ahead, throw a sequel up there during the summer. You're gonna get a crowded theater.
Yeah. So in the chat, Jared just dropped Holy Mountain the sequel. Little
Oh,
Alejandro Jodorowsky. I think
yeah.
I want to say Holy Mountain would be unsequelable.
What would they do? How deep would that
I mean,
go?
he did like Sangre. Like they're
Yeah. Oh
all.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
every movie he's made is essentially like a sequel to its.
They live in the same world, kind of thing. You get the
Yeah.
same. You get the
Yeah.
same dusty flavor.
Well, yeah. I'll tell. Like we're so. Yeah, Midnight Movies is another one. Like a show we got to do. Like Grindhouse, our top
I like that
Grindhouse.
idea.
You want to do
Yeah.
that? You want to do that next then?
I think so. I think that would be a good one.
All
I
right.
actually, I'm in the mood. I want to revisit some of those movies.
Perfect, because we haven't established it yet, and while it's fresh on the brain, let's do midnight grindhouse movies,
All right.
like
Good
like
job, Jared. Thank you very much. Big shout out to Jared, too. If you're a member of the Fairhaven 99, you would have received your monthly mailing for March. And that was from the genius mind of Mr. Jared.
yeah. He said also Jared said Reservoir Dogs 2.
Ooh.
Interesting, interesting. That's a hot take right there if I've ever heard one.
What else? Man. Oh, I was thinking, too, now that you said that. Blue Velvet Part 2.
Yep.
Any Lynchian
Yeah, like
Part 2.
Lost Highway would be
Lost
cool.
Highway. That whole world can be explored. I miss seeing stuff from him, man. He's one of my favorites. I love the second season of Twin Peaks, but I would love to see another David Lynch movie.
Sounds excellent. So, with that being said, we got the taste buds sizzling for the marinara. It's in the air. The mozzarella mausoleum is probably 120 degrees right now.
Oh, I'm dying over here. My mustache was melting. I had to reapply.
Uh, So let's get into some of these spicy honorable mentions.
Yeah, I got a lot too. I'm pulling them up on my phone right here.
All right,
Got some good ones.
do you want me to start while you wait,
Yeah,
or
go
while you
ahead.
get
No,
it?
yeah, go ahead.
So
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna knock out the obligatory, the biggest sequel. Well, I don't know. That it may be the biggest. Empire Strikes Back. Has
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's got to be
On
talked
my list.
about.
Yep. Like you, and I'm sorry for interrupting, but I want to just clear up.
No,
Like you, that was my number one uh runner. Like it's one of those things, it's got to be on the list. It's just kind of understood. So yeah, that was my first runner up. Empire Strikes Back.
yep.
Tell me about that. What is it?
Well, you
What's the
see,
flavor of that for you?
Empire Strikes Back is probably considered to me one of the greatest. I mean, in Clerks, they talk about it.
Yeah.
Empire, like Han gets his or Luke gets his hand chopped off. Han gets taken away by Boba Fett to Jabba. Like the whole movie ends on a down note. That's
Those are
what
my
life
favorite
is.
movies.
A series
Those
of
are my
down endings.
favorite
Yeah.
movies.
So like yeah, that's the biggest thing. It ends in like a down note because like the rebellion after the high of blowing up the Death Star 1 get their asses kicked and then they're scrambling to figure it out.
All those poor all
Yeah,
those poor
plumbers.
all those poor non-union guys.
Yeah. Well, hey, the union guy said they do the job. They took the risk.
That was such a great one, man. Like
Oh,
it's just
Clerks?
brutal. The tundra of Hoth.
Oh,
You
yeah, like yeah,
know?
yeah, from Hoth to Dagobah to
Yeah.
Bespin to the Super Star Destroyer, like it's runs the gamut, if you will. It's got the asteroid scene with the giants, the worm that comes out,
The
the
world
Millennium.
building in that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
that's the Star Wars world. If you want to like your first dip into like, well, what's Star Wars? Watch Empire Strikes Back. Don't watch like, yeah, you got to watch them in order and all that. But that to me sums up Star Wars. And if you have to only watch one Star Wars movie, I think
Empire.
it's Empire Strikes Back.
Absolutely. I mean, you got like the rogues gallery of bounty hunters on that Super
Yeah,
Star Destroyer, like
yeah.
Dengar, Bosk, Bubba Fett, IG-88, like the
Warlam,
yeah, they're
Warlam.
all there. Can't beat it. Ooh, drinking out of a drinking horn?
Ugh, the marinara is still hot. That's right off the stove. Yeah, but like that's cool too because like they could have like they just leave so many open-ended parts to that one too. It lets the imagination go. Like, who are these bounty hunters? You get no background on them. There's
Yeah.
just a bunch of five dudes that show up that look weird. You got the Carbonite, you got Jabba. All that stuff is awesome.
Yeah, I don't think Jabba shows up though until the third one.
He's
You don't
not in Empire even a little bit. No.
no. You don't see him until the palace.
Okay. All right. But I stand corrected.
But
But
that's the thing. Like I talk about Star Wars a lot at work and stuff too.
yeah,
And like a lot of these like guys, well, guys, these youngins, they don't like the original trilogy. Like they make fun of me for only liking the original trilogy.
you said what?
Yeah, and I say I say another Clerks line. I always say, "There's only one return, and it's not of the king; it's of the Jedi."
I love
'Cause-
Jedi. I don't care what anybody says. I
oh,
love Jedi.
A New
Jedi
Hope.
speak to me.
Yeah, like from like the Battle of Yavin to because I love Mandalorian too.
Yeah,
Probably to Force Awakens. That frame of the Empire is destroyed, like the galaxies like and essentially a post-apocalyptic state
yeah,
without
sure.
like everything scattered. Like the New Republic is trying to build everything, so there's like scum and villainy everywhere, and like things are kind of looking like I don't know. It's hard to explain. That's just like my favorite era of Star Wars, especially like Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, I got a friend who's obsessed with Shadows of the Empire.
That's
Like,
like oh, go ahead.
no, that's he can go on. Like we were driving once. We had to drive to like Rhode Island. It was like an hour drive. He just memorized the whole world. He's obsessed with Shadows of the
Well,
Empire.
and Shadows of the Empire is interesting because it's a multimedia, cross-platform storytelling element with no movie for it.
Yeah, sure. That's the thing. Yeah, no movies to support it all.
Wild, and it's successful-ish, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
I mean, I like it, but I mean, how many people walk around talking about Dash Rendar like on a daily basis?
And if they are, they're a friend of ours.
Yeah,
So all you Dash
there's.
Rendar fans out there, give us a ring.
I got a slice of pie upstairs for you.
Lemon.
Well, I meant pizza, but yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right. So
Uh,
Empire. Yeah, what you got?
Empire. I went with. I guess I'll go in any random order here. I just wrapped this one up actually before the show. I had to revisit it because I think it's very underappreciated.
Okay.
First Blood 2. John Rambo.
Oh, wow.
John Rambo.
That
Back in Nam.
yeah.
Woo! It's intense, man. Like
Yeah.
I remember having like that's once again, man. Like, if you lived it, you know it. That's why the 80s were so crazy. I remember I had all the Rambo Enertech battery operated water guns, like RPG, the AK, all that. And then like what was like that was the media it was based on. This guy, this patriot with PTSD going back and the government screwing him over. And that was like one of the biggest, like the hot water gun lines. I love the action
Well,
figures.
yeah, I had the action figure. Yeah, we talked about the hockey mask guy.
Oh, that's Commando.
Oh, yeah, yeah, never mind. No,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
that's I got to revisit that though. I got to revisit Commando. That's on my list.
Yeah, I had a Rambo big wheel.
Yes, I did too. I
ha-
had the Knight Rider big wheel, but the
Oh,
Rambo one my neighbor had.
yeah. I remember
Yep.
I remember mine falling apart like my first big wheel, like getting on it ready to go, and then it just literally collapsed. And I
Oh
remember
man,
going to the store, want to say it was Hills that day, got the Rambo big wheel, and it came with like an ammo box on the back with belt fed like ammo falling out of the side of it. It-
nothing like ammo belts back then too, man. Did it
yeah,
have a gun? Did it have a gun in the front?
there was no gun, and I want to say there wasn't. I could be wrong, but it might have been just a sticker. There wasn't any
Big wheels were
proprietary.
awesome. So
Yeah,
I remember I had my Knight Rider one. It had the little brake on the side, and like I wore that out until the plastic wheels had holes in them. Those were
very
great.
awesome. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So Rambo 2, like that was an intense movie, man. Like the girl he finally finds love. He's got a barrier in a mud pit. Like they pull him up out of the water with the leeches. It's just like I don't know, right? It's like this is probably sacrilege. Deer Hunter is one of my favorite war films of all time.
right.
And watching this, and it's like, man, this is there's some intense parts. But yeah, watch that again. But like so much, it's kind of been like covered up with dirt. Like so much came out of that. So many of the B films that we love popped up around that time, and I don't think it gets the love that it deserves.
No, it definitely doesn't. It
Yeah,
definitely
so that's
definitely
that's one of
doesn't.
my big runners up. It just didn't make the major list just because it's so jam packed with some other big monuments.
Yeah.
My main list.
So yeah, Rambo 2. So Rambo as a franchise is very interesting too.
Yeah.
And then like you got Rambo 3 where he goes and fights the Russians in Afghanistan, and then 4 is the John Rambo. Have you seen that one where he
I
like
had not. No, I have not seen past three.
watch 4?
Okay.
It's like there's like a kill per minute like
That's the
count.
high. That's like the UHF kill count kind
Yeah,
of.
it
Yeah.
it actually has it, and it's like 2 kills a minute. Like this movie.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah. The amount of
it's
money they put into these.
yeah. Rambo 4. I'm sure someone. Yeah, they're doubling down. They're saying check out Rambo 4. It's a
All
good
right,
one.
I will. I will, guys. I'll check out Rambo because this one really wet my whistle
Oh
watching
yeah.
it.
So, as a caveat off of the Rambo, there was another big Sylvester Stallone franchise in the 80s into the 90s. They had
I
a
thought
lot.
about this.
Yeah. What is your go-to Rocky?
It's the one with Drago. It's got to
Yeah,
be. Is it
4.
three? Four? Is it four?
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean,
I remember that's like one of the. I watching that as a kid. It's probably the first time like I saw a main character die.
mm.
That blew my mind. That was horrible. I still have flashes of Apollo. Horrible.
Well, I mean, like think about it too. Like the height of the Cold War.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ruskies, they, absolutely. I
Yeah.
felt so bad for Apollo. That still stings.
Have
Yeah,
you ever
definitely.
have you ever seen Rocky the musical?
No, I have not seen Rocky the musical.
I'll
No,
I
no,
hope
I missed
I'll
that. I
oh
missed
my
that.
god. I'll write it down. I'll send you the link. It's pretty damn funny.
There's really a Rocky the musical. Is it a parody?
Yeah. It's like a YouTube video. The guy they sing like parts and
Oh
then
my
like the
god.
the it's really good. It's really funny. But yeah, like they're talking about other ones. Yeah, I mean Rocky iconic, great sequels. Like Sylvester
Yeah.
Stallone, like he did most of them himself.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
So like he's an
Talented writer.
oh yeah, he's very talented. Like he's very accomplished. He doesn't get the credit he deserves when it comes to
No,
behind the
everybody thinks
camera.
he's a dumb Italian like me, but he's
Yeah,
not. He's very bright, and I bet he's a cool guy to hang out with. Um, I totally forgot it. Man, yeah, just Rocky.
they're all good.
They're
Even
all good,
five, even five.
and it's. We'll get into this later on with some of my choices, but it is a story.
Hmm.
Some of the sequels that I picked, they're kind of like, all right, well, it's just a whole different setting, different time. There's not like a lot of connection.
Right.
Rocky, that's a continuous thread. There's a continuum there of a narrative.
Yeah, it's a great narrative.
Yeah.
So let's
What else
see.
you got?
So okay, so I'm gonna go into. I got a couple tangents. So I go into like so. What to you would be so you know how like a movie ends, right? Obviously. And then the sequel takes place literally as the movie like right as the movie ends and then part 2 begins.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I got one. I got a good one. Halloween 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
right.
literally goes um yeah, they're talking about Expendables in the chats. But yeah, Expendables, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, Halloween
He
2
fights
takes
Van Damme in Expendables too.
yeah, one of them he does.
Wow.
I don't
Oh
know if
man.
it's two. It probably is. I'm sure. It's been a while, like since I've seen those. I want to rewatch them. I really liked them, but that's yeah, Expendables. That's an interesting story. I like them definitely,
I
but
haven't
yeah,
watched. Yeah.
you never seen them?
No. I got to check them out.
Oh,
No.
they're just a fun. They're just fun,
Yeah. Yeah.
like over the top, ridiculous. So yeah, so Halloween 2,
Halloween two.
Michael
Good
Myers
choice.
gets Lori whatever Stroud I think is her
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
gets murders the her estranged lost brother Michael
Yeah.
and take him to the hospital only to wait he goes to the hospital right or she goes to the hospital too.
I know he does.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where carnage ensues. Well,
Yeah.
whoever they end up meeting up in the hospital, carnage ensues. A great hot tub death scene.
Awesome. Man. Yeah, I've been re-exploring the Halloweens. Um,
So yeah, I think that's the only. And then obviously Halloween 3, we get the different movie, which is it's like as a kid to a teen to a young man in the horror world. Halloween 3 was always frowned upon. It was always looked down upon, but now it's getting like a resurgence that people are really like admiring it for what it is.
Halloween 3 is my next runner up.
Ah, see, exactly,
Yep.
and
That
it's
we'll talk more about Halloween 2. What are your in comparison to Halloween 1?
well. So I mean, the problem is Halloween one is a far superior movie in my
Yes.
opinion, but it's more along the lines of the uh the continuation of the story
Yeah.
is what stood out for me. But like, yeah, Halloween one will always have the top spot.
Sure.
I mean,
Halloween 2 is when the psych starts, the psych analysis of Michael.
yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, you got like Dr. Loomis in the first one being like, I interviewed the kid for like 18 years.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing, it's just the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Boom. That's all you need. Guy
Yeah.
the kid snaps, doesn't isn't a kid anymore, kills his sister, goes to a psych ward and like is irreversible. Like that's all you need. You
That's all
don't
you
need
need.
a backstory. You
The
like,
seed is planted. There's a bad egg. That's it.
oh
Yep.
yeah. And then like the whole cult side of things come in, then there's like supernatural powers.
Yeah, it's I think out of all three, Jason, Freddy, and Michael, like he is the most well developed character.
With less words.
Yeah, oh absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the irony of it.
Yep. Yep.
But
And
yeah, yeah, that brings up like all those slasher movies because like if you really think about it, so like we like Friday the 13th part 2 is actually better than part 1.
I think so.
So like that's a sequel that's better than the original because yeah, like the spoiler alert if you've never seen Friday the 13th part 1, like like what, like 40 years later, like
Yep.
the mom is yeah, Mrs. Voorhees is the killer in the first one.
With their beautiful blue sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would consider, well, Friday the 13th part 3 in 3D better because that's when he finally gets the mask.
That's when you get the mask. Well,
Yeah.
because he's got the bag on his
He's
head,
got a bag over his head. Yep.
which is a very cool thing too. But the iconic Jason, definitely is established in part 3.
Yeah, yeah. So the establishment of the character hits part 3, so that's why that one's better. But then you get into my main man Freddy, which we'll actually talk about because he makes the actual list.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I'm really struggling with how I had to move
Right.
things
Are you
last.
are you moving things as we speak?
No, well, kind of, kind of. You're just talking of like, I told audience, people are watching. Like literally at the last minute, I was coming down to the mausoleum with my list, and something struck me because I had been playing a record upstairs, and I'm like, how could I not put this as my number one? So it moved everything. So I got to rearrange. So I'll jump in when we get to that. But I was going to go with Halloween 3 was on the list. I had to move some things around. Completely. Michael is in it, believe it or not. Did you know that?
I'm honestly like I'm gonna sit here and tell you I've never actually seen it.
Oh, really? So I was. It's kind of tongue in cheek. Michael is not a character in the movie, but there is a scene in a bar where on the TV Halloween is playing, but totally almost like non sequitur, nothing to do with Michael Myers. But as a kid, I remember seeing it on TV, and that just the vision of the masks. I thought it was just a cool idea. Like you have cyborgs in the movie or androids. You have the occult, and you have like world domination via these
Yeah,
masks that are going to activate. And there's this one scene where they melt on the kid's head. Oh my god, that
yeah.
so much as a kid.
I know like I know Tom Atkins is in it, so like he's like my surrogate father, so I need to watch. I love that guy.
And dude, it's one of those movies where it's like no hope, no hope. They had a bunch of different endings, and luckily they went with the doom and gloom.
Oh, thanks for spoiling it.
Oh no, you
No,
believe
I'm
you
just kidding.
get a
I'm
good
just
kick
kidding.
out of it. But man,
Yeah,
this movie has it all: cyborgs, the occult, melting masks, and a song that just doesn't stop. That just get a leitmotif that gets stuck in your head.
yeah. It's yeah. I've always put it off. I never wanted to watch it because like I was saying, it got the bad vibe as a kid. I've seen every single Halloween up until like the newer ones. Like H2O was like where I put my foot down,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
and then
But this didn't make the main list because it's not really a sequel.
right,
It's
that's
like
like
it's like
yeah,
a completely different franchise.
yeah, which was it was supposed to be.
Right. It was supposed to be like, and it's starting to be anthologies or something like that.
Yeah, it was started the anthology. People got butthurt that Michael Myers wasn't in it,
Yeah.
and so they
Yeah.
they went back and like four. What's four? Curse of Michael
Uh,
Myers. Like that's
I don't know. I get a little cloudy after that.
is the return of Michael Myers. Duh, that makes sense.
That's when he has is that when he has the heart attack? Like he's on the is that when he's in the morgue?
I would
The
assume
in
so.
the morgue.
I gotta dig out my copy.
All right, so maybe both of us have to go back to four. Four is return. Yeah.
Yep. And then you got Paul Rudd.
What in the new ones?
Um, no, he's like the kid. He's like
Oh, that's right. That is Paul Rudd, huh?
yeah.
Man,
All
what a
right.
way to start out.
So Halloween 2. What you got next?
Halloween 2, well, Halloween 2, Halloween 3,
Yep.
and then I have, let me get it over here. So let's just continue the transition. We're very good with how we're sliding into segueing.
Yeah. See, we're
Because
getting
I'm going
good
to
at
talk
this.
about anthologies now, and it's one of my as a kid it was one of my favorite movies, and that's Creep Show 2.
I've
But it's
never
not on the
seen
major
Creepshow
list.
2.
You never seen Creep Show 2?
Nope, I have it. I have it on VHS. I've never
All right,
pulled it out.
beautiful movie. It's kind of like a sandwich because I like the first story and the third story, and number two is a little bit of a sink. So the first one is, oh man, every summer still when I swim out to the raft at the beach near my house, I think about this, the raft where there's this like gelatinous cancer in the water that's sucking kids' faces off. There's that one. And then there's the Wooden Native American that comes back for
Oh,
vengeance.
that's from the second one.
That's from the second one.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And then the third is Thanks for the Ride, Lady, the Hitchhiker. That used to scare me to death as a kid. I remember always seeing that on USA in the afternoon, on Saturday afternoons back then. But Creep Show, but it's once again, it's on the major list. I love the movie, but it's not a continuation of everything. It's just another set of stories.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be necessarily a continuation to make it to the list.
I know, but
Man,
I have to have some boundaries. I got it. Like, or else my mind's gonna go in a million different directions.
I think mine went a million different directions on this.
So, Creep Show 2. That was
Yeah,
my other runner-up.
I've seen bits and pieces, never seen the whole thing. I will definitely so Creepshow 1 has the guy that gets buried in the sand,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Creep Show 1 is Father's Day. Where's my cake, Bedelia?
Yeah.
There's that. There's the monster in the crate, Fluffy.
Yeah.
And there's Ted Danson when he gets buried down at the beach. Oh, and the lonesome death of Jordy Verrill, where Stephen King touches the meteorite and he gets covered. He becomes Moss Man.
Yeah, good stuff.
Great. Yeah.
All right. So, I got like a threefer right here, which it could be more. It could be more, which is interesting. So, this is sequels that take place in Japan. They're Karate Kid Part 2,
Across. I see. I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Three Ninjas Kick Back,
Yep.
Toxic Avenger Part 2. That's all I got. Three of them. Three movies all take place in Japan in their sequels.
Isn't there a Turtles there? They go to Japan.
Well, Turtles 3, they go to feudal Japan.
Feudal
So,
Japan. Okay.
yeah, so I'll count it.
One more meatball for the plate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Three Ninjas Kick Back. Wow, I haven't thought about that one in a while.
Yeah, so Three Ninjas Kick Back.
Three Ninjas was a big deal.
Yeah, I actually watched recently, unfortunately, the High Noon at Mega Mountain or whatever one, like the Hulk Hogan.
Oh wow,
It's
man.
rough. It is. It's a slog of a movie. Let me tell you.
Have you watched Three Ninjas itself lately?
Yes, I have. Three
I wonder
Ninjas.
how'd that hold up.
It holds up. The first one definitely holds up.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
nice.
What a classic. Great movie.
Toxie 2 is great.
Yeah, yeah. Toxie 2 is fantastic. I mean,
That's when he really
obviously.
found his legs. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen Citizen Toxie?
No, I've not seen Citizen Toxie.
It's worth a watch.
I gotta get that on my trauma list.
Yeah. It's
Citizen.
is Citizen Toxie on Popcorn Primavera? It might even have made it to the list.
I cannot wait for Popcorn Primavera.
We gotta set a date so the Neon Maniacs can get figured out for
Absolutely.
a Popcorn Primavera.
That's going to be a big deal.
A huge deal.
We'll get them all involved.
Yeah. So let me look. Let me pull up my popcorn list here.
I'm writing down some of my runners up. Yeah, here we
Yeah.
go. While you're looking that up, I want to talk about 3 across the board too.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't put them on this list because I think they deserve more time.
Yep.
And that's just Return of the Ninja, Ninja 3, The Domination.
Oh man. Okay, so Ninja 3 The Domination is actually on Popcorn Primavera.
Yep.
Toxic Avenger 1 is. So I would
Okay.
assume 2 will take the place of 1.
Okay.
Like
All right.
if we ever hit it. But yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, let's talk about is it Revenge or Return of the Ninja?
It might be. Oh, man, I think maybe it's Revenge of the Ninja. But that's with Kasugi's son, the little guy, man. He gets in the fight with the hypnotized girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's
Oh yeah.
back.
Yeah,
The
Revenge of the Ninja.
That's
Okay.
an awesome movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm well versed in Revenge of the Ninja. I could talk about Revenge of the Ninja all day. Revenge of the Ninja versus Ninja 3, crazy difference.
I mean, it's like
Night and day.
apples in a loaf of bread. Like they don't even. It's yeah.
I think we talked about the domination, didn't we? In the
Yeah,
cover?
I think we did when we first started out because that was a big influence. That one was probably the biggest influence on Ninja City. But the caltrops have never been used better ever.
Yep. Anytime caltrops is ever brought up via Dungeons and Dragons, via Magic the Gathering, there's actually a caltrops card. I always think about the ball bearings to the guy falls his face onto the caltrops every time. And I think he even like blows them.
He does. He blows them in the guy, or they're in his mouth, and he's like, "Pooh!"
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
All stick in the guy's face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the poor mother, they go after the mother. She's like the elderly mom, and she does like a backflip, she gets hit in the arm, throws the smoke bomb, and disappears.
Yep. Yeah.
Ninja grandma.
What an awful way to go. Like well, not go, but like he shows up. I mean, okay, so Pray for Death.
Yeah.
And Revenge of the Ninja are essentially the same plot with Sho
Very
Kosugi.
similar. Very similar.
Yeah. So ends up getting mixed in the drug trade. They're shipping China White through the Japanese dolls.
In the dolls.
Yeah.
For his new art gallery.
Yep, new art gallery. Smithereens for these dolls. Gets mixed up. Oh, like the park fight scene?
Yeah.
Classic.
With the kid?
Well, the kid one and the dad one. Like where they're fighting on like all the recreational equipment. And I believe it culminates to like the chase scene where he's getting dragged by the van. Yeah. And his jeans are all ripped up.
Great.
And the main bad guy ninja wears the silver mask underneath it. I wonder if it's
with the green eyes. Like he gets the eyes.
Yeah, because you can hypnotize with the
in the end where he slashes him and like the mask like splits in half. That's so epic. Man, maybe that should have been higher for me. Yeah, I'll tell you everybody, I had a tough time with this assignment.
You know, I want to say there's definitely one hot tub kill scene in that movie.
Yes, there is.
So we're already up to a two
hot tub kills.
But I want to say there might be a third one.
In that movie?
There might be 2. So the one guy, he blow darts him in the hot tub.
Is the guy alone or is he with the girl?
No, he's with a girl.
Okay, yeah. That's the one I remember.
And then the big Japanese guy, doesn't he get choked? Doesn't the lady choke him in a hot tub?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know. I'll have to go back.
I'm gonna
But we
call it 3. I'm gonna
okay.
call.
Let's call it three. We got to get a hot tub kill list going.
I got it. I'm gonna put it up right now.
Yeah, somebody else backed up. Yeah, the raft. I'm gonna have to add Creep Show 2 to the list. Oh, they didn't see it yet. Yeah. Creep Show 2 is pretty good. In Hyper Sigil Games, I got you. Don't worry about that one. That's for later on. That's all I'll
Oh
say.
yes, that's the. I can't really look too much at the chat a lot of times because they always like talk about stuff that like obviously is gonna.
Yes. So everybody in the chat, if we don't recognize what you're saying, it's probably because it's going to be a big piece of something that's coming up. Yes. Oh man, that's awesome. What else you got for runners up?
Runners up. So
We could do a ninja show too, man. There's enough ninja stuff to talk
yeah, yeah. I mean, we talk about ninjas at least
about.
15% of each episode's
Yeah.
ninjas. So okay, so yeah, I wanna get a definitive list of what sequels actually end up in Japan because I feel like it was a big thing because like that's why I feel like Toxic Avenger 2 parodies it.
Yeah, because it was a thing. That's where you
Right,
would go.
yeah. So I wanna do some independent research and find out about that.
Oh, I just thought of something.
What's up?
Sequel I wanted that never happened. Big Trouble Little China.
I was gonna bring it up, but like I was hitting bangers. Like I had two, and like I was gonna say Big Trouble in Little China, but like I didn't bring it up because I was like,
I wonder if that was ever planned, if that was ever a
well,
thing.
absolutely, absolutely. Why? Like it was the greatest thing ever. Of
Oh,
course. Well, actually, I don't know because it didn't. It's one of those movies that didn't get recognition until later in its life.
later on. Yeah.
Yeah, like the VHS, the rental world really took that one under its wing for sure. What about
Every
Shock
time
Treatment?
every time I think of that movie, I think of a sun faded VHS case. I don't
Absolutely.
know why,
I
but it
could
was
see
always
that.
sun faded.
Yeah, because it was always in the window
In
trying
the
to.
window, it's popular.
Yeah,
Yeah. I got
yeah.
another one.
All right.
Creep me out, wicked bad. I've adopted the antagonist's fashion for a long time. I got the hat. Oh, you frightened little girl? Come here. I'll sing you a song.
Yeah, Poltergeist 2.
Poltergeist 2. Kane, the dude didn't even make it. Didn't even make it. God rest his soul. Didn't even make it through the damn movie.
Poltergeist 2. That's the one where he drinks the tequila worm, right? And like,
Yes, it
and like
is.
the demon comes out or whatever
Yep.
it is.
Epic spear battle in some alternate universe at the end. Like there's the Native American guy that helps out. Oh man, it's just that's a crazy movie, and I love the special effects in it. It's I don't even know what you call it, but it's cool. Like everything is superimposed. It looks
Hmm.
like everything has like a little bit of a almost like a heat vision edge to it.
Yeah,
But Kane, let me in your house. That guy. Whew. I
yeah,
mean, he is literally deaf. The guy is dying. The guy was dying of like stomach cancer during the filming of the movie and didn't make it through. They had to do like overdubs of his voice and stuff. And you could
crazy.
just see completely sunken in, no makeup. And I just love that. Like Night of the Hunter Reverend thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good one. That is a good one. What
P2.
about Oh, go ahead.
No, it's good. P2. Love that one.
Yeah. What about this is on my list. The ultimate um and like Marvel, so Marvel cinematic universe, right?
Yeah.
There was a movie that came out. I'm pulling it up because I want to get the dates right. 1968 could be the uh, the earliest movie on this list for me. Destroy All Monsters, Godzilla.
Godzilla. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Good
like
choice, man.
So like it's talk about like the ultimate like Marvel like cinematic universe all put together, like all
The
the
ultimate
monsters.
lineup. Yeah, good choice. Good choice. I'm getting my son into the Godzilla movies now. They're catching on.
Yeah, they're especially Destroy All Monsters is one of my favorites. Fortunately, my DVD doesn't have chapters. It literally you just put it
I
in
see.
and it
It's just
plays.
it's there.
Huh?
It's just there. You got to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, you got to watch the whole
Yeah.
thing. And it's one of the movies like the human aspect of a Godzilla movie does not appeal to me.
Yeah. Nope. Not at all. I don't watch Godzilla movies for humans
Yeah,
unless they're getting crushed.
yeah, exactly. So I like to skip over most of the.
I do the right. I do the same thing. I can't tell you how many times where I fast forwarded through all the people parts just to see the fights. That's something I literally do when I watch those movies. I don't care about the story. I want to see the monsters fight. All I care about is the monsters. I got to bring something up.
Yeah, let's do it.
Gremlins 2,
Uh,
Daka Flocka Flame, talking about Gremlins 2. I That movie is messed up. That's another one. Man, that's just a whole different tone. And I remember when I was a kid, Ocean Pizza in New London, Connecticut. The first time I ever won a contest, I had a delicious can. This is where it all started for me in orange soda. I had a can of Sunkist. Pop the tap, and you would look at the back of the tab, and it said second place. I screamed, I yelled, and I stood up on the booth, and it was packed. It was a Saturday at noon. Started screaming. My parents were like, "What the hell's the matter with you?" I won. I won a Gremlins 2 poster from a Sunkist tab. I had to send it in with the envelope, and it came in the mail. The first and only time I ever won anything in a sweepstakes. Beautiful. But yeah, Gremlins, that's the people die. That's a rough one.
and it's got a Hulk Hogan cameo.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Sorry, folks, that won't happen again. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Gremlins 2 is everything you want in a sequel.
Yes, it
Bigger,
is.
bigger set, higher
Yep.
stakes, and over the top, tongue in cheek. Like they know, like the humor knows that it's in a Gremlins 2 sequel.
Yeah. What you buy a ticket, and that's what you want to see.
Yep,
They don't
exactly.
go deep. Just overdo the Gremlins aspect of it and put it in a skyscraper.
Yeah, I would say yeah. It's the Die Hard,
Yeah, it is. It is
the
absolutely.
Die Hard recipe.
Yeah.
But Gremlins 2. Did Gremlins 2 come out before Die Hard?
Which came first? Who stole from whom?
Yeah, but there's the Rambo reference to Gremlins 2 as well.
Yes, there is. That's right. Yeah.
It does
Yep.
the like when Rambo gets ready, puts the bandana on, puts
Yeah, yeah.
the boot and the knife and everything. Yeah,
They
and
did
then
a nice job. They did a nice job with the Gremlins there. They didn't mess around with the effects.
yeah, Gremlins 2 is they're asking if Christmas Vacation's a sequel. Yeah, it's a
Sure it is. Yeah, I
sequel
actually
to
considered that.
uh Summer Vacation.
Yep.
And I want to say European Trip might have came out before.
Uh yeah, I think it was vacation, European vacation, and then Christmas vacation.
Yeah. I would second that. So, yeah, Gremlins 2. What a great movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. That
You
is a
know,
good one. That
so
deserves that deserves a golden meatball award.
that's he gets the golden ravioli.
There you go. The Golden Ravioli Award goes to Daka Flocka Flame,
Yep.
Gremlins 2. Oh, but they said okay. So they said that they're not sure if they'd feel the same way if they watched it again now.
Who said that?
Daka Flocka Flame, the one that brought when I was a kid, I like Gremlins 2 more than
Oh,
the first
I
movie.
can't. I gotta read the whole thing. Reading the comment helps you understand the comment. I'm still trying to figure out what BTILC is.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh my,
It took
yeah,
me a second.
yeah,
I was scratching my head over that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Usually I do. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I'm glad you could figure it out too. I was
No,
like,
I couldn't figure it out at first. It took me a little bit. I had to go back. So thank you guys for contributing to the chat.
yeah. So yeah, Destroy All Monsters is great. There's a new one I have yet to watch a newer Destroy All Monsters, where it's like they take everything. They even take like the American Godzilla and beat his ass in the first like 15 seconds as just like a joke.
Yeah, do you
Yeah.
know like when they did King Kong versus Godzilla, there was different endings for each country. So like in
Oh,
the
I believe it. Yeah,
United
Kong
States,
wins.
Kong wins. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I definitely believe that 1,000%. I need to find out what this new one is.
You're
Uh,
talking like '90s new
no,
or
like
the US new?
2000s. It's like
Okay.
let's see. That's why I got the internet. Oh no, it's not 22. Oh, there. I think there is. They're making another one supposedly. I've never watched any of the new Godzillas.
I haven't gotten through them. I started to watch the new Godzilla, and it was cool. It was a cool idea, but I just like for the I don't know what happened. I fell
Oh,
asleep or something because I was tired.
oh no, that's Melee. That's the game. Destroy all monsters. Yeah. See, I had a feeling I'd be the same way. Like just, it's like Godzilla. I don't know, but like the '90s Godzillas, like with Destroya and all them, like those are good. And then like the Gamera is
So
out.
you're talking about the Japanese ones, not
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Matthew whatever his name was. I didn't even
Matthew
see
Broderick.
it. Yeah,
No,
forget about that.
no, the '90s Japanese Godzilla movies are really good.
Chef's
I
kiss.
Yeah, it got the chef's kiss of the night. There might be a hot tub kill scene in one. No, I'm just kidding. Um, no, but like '90s Japanese cinema has a sheen to it. That
It's a genre I'm unfamiliar with. I got to check. I'm interested in this. I know
yeah,
what you mean. I've seen clips. Like I never watched a movie, but there is a aesthetic that is pretty cool in those
yeah.
movies.
Gunhead. Well, we talked about it
Yeah,
last
yeah,
episode. Has
yeah.
it huge. It's like it just has like a dark feel to everything. It's weird, but yeah, like the '90s Godzilla movies definitely have that.
I did see a theme. Uh, now that you bring that up, in a lot of my choices, the sequel is the darkness. They
Interesting.
bring in darkness.
Hmm. Interesting. So, you got any more honorable mentions? I got a
I
few.
got one more. I got one more honorable mention, and it's an honorable mention because I have not gone back to see it since I was a kid. But
Okay.
I've never even seen one. I've only seen two, and I loved it, and I watched it so many times. And I go out there with my Red Rider and emulate it. Young Guns too.
Young Guns too. I don't think anybody's ever seen Young Guns 1.
I don't. Yeah, seriously. They never. I like Young Guns one. Like I think one of my friends had a DVD when DVDs first came out. He's like, you got to watch it. I'm like, nah, I got Young Guns 2. That's all I need. Make you famous. But what a lineup, man. Estevez. You got Lou Diamond Phillips at his apex. Love
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez, Lou Diamond, Kiefer Sutherland, I believe too.
Kiefer Sutherland was in it, man.
Bon
That was just
Jovi
cool. Yep.
on yeah.
Oh, I love that was cool. Bon Jovi was cool when that came out.
Mhm.
Wanted Dead or Alive. Whew,
Yeah.
that was a good one. Yeah, great soundtrack, and then just the whole legend of Brushy Bill, like that Billy. That's when I found out that there was all these conspiracies about uh, Billy the Kid, not
Right.
being killed by Pat Garrett. Yep. So those are my run up. So I put that one on the runners up because I want to see. I got to watch it again to see how well it holds up. But because that movie lived as an individual movie, even though it was part of a historical thing. And they say those Young Gun movies was like as crazy as they were, some of the most true to history when it comes to like the biography of Billy the Kid. It was pretty well researched. You like cowboy movies?
Me?
Yeah.
So a little bit. So I like Tombstone.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um Tombstone, like they're just talking about Good, Bad, and the Ugly in the
Sure.
chat, like the spaghetti westerns. So it is a trilogy. It's a Man with No Name trilogy, and then
Yes.
a
Love those. I can't
fistful
believe I
of
didn't even
dollars,
think about those.
fistful of dynamite, Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Spaghetti westerns, yeah, I like some. I like True Grit, both of
Yeah,
them.
True Grit's awesome. Both of them.
Um,
Django with the gun in the coffin.
Yeah, so it's funny because I always bring up Django because Franco Nero is like obviously the best Django. Yeah,
Yeah,
goes into a town in a civil war, t- like gangs on each side fighting, drags a coffin into town. I mean that's iconic. You know, you always hear about like the Pale Rider bringing
yeah.
in the dragging his coffin with him. But yeah, he literally, spoiler alert, has a Gatling gun in it. It just busts it out and mows everybody down.
Though I love those Clint Eastwood movies. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't even think about those. I just they're just once again so iconic. I love that. Yeah, yeah.
they're asking if you like gladiator movies. It's kind of a
Sword
sort,
and-
yeah, sword and sandal.
I never got into the sword. Not that I don't dislike him. I just never I never went down that path.
Clash of the Titans, even though.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff. I'm
Yeah,
just talking about all the weird Italian ones.
yeah. There's a
I
lot.
love all the Ray Harryhausen stuff. You kidding
Oh,
me?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what were we talking about just now? Fuck. It's damn it. What
Lee
movie were?
Van Cleef, man. Lee Van Cleef is awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, we're just talking about westerns. Yeah, Lee Van Cleef, which actually he was in a TV show with Sho Kosugi called The Master.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yes. I've never seen it, but I've read about this. That's right. I knew he was involved in something with martial arts.
I'll send you. I got some DVDs of it. I'll send you one.
All right, cool,
It,
nice.
back when, yeah, like some dollar store DVDs.
So those are all my runner ups.
Very nice, very nice runner ups. I got a few left.
Yeah,
We'll talk about. So my number one zombie movie is obviously a sequel. I gotta talk about Dawn of the Dead for a couple
have to
seconds because
have to.
like it's so iconic. It transcends just the zombie show, even though we talked about it like 1,000 times.
We could
But
have 6 shows about that movie.
oh, absolutely! Like Monroeville Mall on itself is iconic now.
Beautiful mall,
Yeah.
beautiful mall.
So yeah.
Every
So
any store you could ever want.
gun store randomly in a mall. You
That's
got an
great.
ice hockey rink. You got an Italian eatery
Of
because
course.
after Flyboy dies. Oh no. Flyboy and I forget all their names. The chick, they have a date in the Italian restaurant.
I was it an Italian restaurant? Or was it a department store?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Ah, damn it. You might be right. They might have just been
Maybe they got the stuff because you know maybe they got the wine in the man I got at the
at the grocery store. Cause
at, yeah,
there's a grocery store in the mall in the movie too,
yeah.
randomly. Yeah, Dawn of the Dead.
Has to be noted. Has to be
Yeah,
noted.
the sheer hubris of them to think that they could just poke at the bikers. You know, they flew too close to the sun, Joey.
That drives me nuts every time I watch that movie. Every
Yeah,
that drives me nuts. Like, what are you doing?
yeah, just let them go.
Yeah, hubris.
Okay, yeah.
Well put.
So, and then to caveat off of that, there's a 28 weeks later is a good sequel.
Yep, that was on my list. I scratched it off for it just because I wanted to do. I think I had 6 and 6. So yeah, that was on my list. 28 weeks later, that was at the request of my wife. Yeah,
28 weeks later, great movie. Best helicopter scene when it comes to like killing zombies with a helicopter blade.
with
Even
the
though
blade,
Dawn did it first.
a nice homage
Yeah.
from across the river.
But 28 weeks later came out around the same time as Planet Terror, and obviously Planet Terror to me like is like one of the best movies of all time. So
Yeah.
like it's like I love that movie. I'm actually probably gonna watch it when we're done with this. Like I love Planet Terror.
I should. I need to revisit that. Yeah, I
Oh
saw
my
that.
god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was cool.
saw it twice in the theater.
Yeah,
I sat through it twice.
I got one more.
All right, what you got?
Home Alone 2.
I mean, it's on my list as well, but it didn't make the cut. I just because I didn't put it on the cut. I didn't put it on the list because that was the joke on that last episode. Was I already said it on episode 5. I was like, oh, we'll do sequels, and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Like, But yeah, Home Alone 2, it's I mean, it's bigger. It's got the recipe.
It's the
High,
recipe. That's exactly why. It's the
yeah.
recipe.
Yep, bigger stakes, bigger set, like Tim Curry as
Yes.
like the greatest like doorman. Well, I don't even know what he would be like.
He's
Hotel.
the what's it called? With the guy at the
It's not. He's not a bellhop though,
oh no. My sister used to be
or
with
concierge.
concierge.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's it. Concierge.
yeah,
Uh,
damn.
Peter McAllister.
Yeah.
Before I needed a talk boy so bad.
Credit card. You got it.
Got it.
I said that in the WHPA game.
Yes, you did. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely. It cracked up.
yeah. I don't
But
think anybody. I don't think anybody got it.
I got a talk boy right after that movie came out. It was like Christmas season, and it didn't work. It was all messed up, and then they wouldn't return it for some reason. I was mad. I wanted to make so many prank phone calls with that.
Yeah, the so the Talk Boy is an interesting product because it didn't exist before Home Alone.
That's right.
Home Alone created the Talk Boy.
Yep. That's right. We need a device to change the kid's voice.
Yeah,
Right. You had to wait because you could. It wasn't just like the movie comes out and you run to Toys R Us and you get it. I remember you had to wait a little bit, and then it
yep,
came out.
yep,
Tiger Toy, I think. Tiger
yeah,
Toy.
and the commercial for it is
Yeah.
fantastic. It's like the older sister's babysitting the kid, and he like terrorizes the date
He
because she
pops
brings
up behind the couch, right?
he pops up behind the couch with a previous encounter she had with the dog when she's like, "Stop slobbering on me," and then
That's right.
the date gets closer, and then he plays it. He's like, "Stop slobbering on me." Then they go apart. Then they get back. They reconsolidate in the middle, and
Yep.
then he
Yep.
slows it down. He says, "Hi, kids, we're home early," and then back apart.
Oh, that was great. We had good tech back then, man. Between that and Spy Tech,
Oh,
forget it.
absolutely, yeah,
Remember Spy Tech with the
yeah,
micro? Man, the best thing ever was the listening mic. That thing was awesome.
like fingerprint kits.
Yeah,
Got the little
they have
powder and then
they
the
have Spy
duster.
Tech. They know. Remember like the
Yeah,
commercials, like the Whistler?
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Great time.
So, all right, yeah. One more. I got two more honorable
Yeah.
mentions. I'm an honorable mention freak. So, um, House of a Thousand Corpses had a sequel, Devil's Rejects.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Same
Yeah,
world.
yeah. Same
Yeah,
world.
yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen the new one, Three from Hell.
No, I didn't see that one
Nah.
either. I love the other two.
Oh,
Absolutely
absolutely. Yeah. Like
gorgeous.
what a great like. So if House of a Thousand Corpses is more zany and more just like over the top, uh, weirdly, Devil's Rejects has more of a TCM feel to it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, well, yeah, yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I
I'll
know.
leave it at that. What I'm talking. I got that's a little foreshadowing.
Same.
Yeah, but man,
Yeah,
those two movies, like Fever Dreams, those things. There's clips in those movies that just stick with you
yeah,
like a
absolutely.
rash.
Like when it comes to, did you like Lords of Salem?
I that's the one. So I'm getting Three from Hell and Lords of Salem mixed up a little bit. Lords of Salem is with the Coven of Witches.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Not as much as I like the other two.
All right, I mean that's fair. So like, yeah, so House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, Lords of Salem. You ever see El Super Beasto?
No, I didn't see El Super Beasto yet.
You gotta watch it.
What's the one? What's the one with the little person
Little person.
that's dressed up like a Nazi?
Oh, that movie's awful. Like 23 or something.
Okay, that's so. No, I'm mistaking Lords of Salem with that one. I haven't seen Lords of Salem. I hate the one that I'm talking about. Whatever
Yeah,
that is.
I
That
was
I want to erase that from his reputation.
yeah, I was yeah, so like
That was
it
annoying. That was
ho-
like grating and annoying.
yeah, what? Oh, okay, so director. So yeah, so Lords of Salem. Okay, yeah, so when it comes to Rob Zombie, this is all the Rob Zombie I like. House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. I like Lords of Salem, and then El Super Beasto. which I don't even think. Oh, the Haunted World of El Super Beasto. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it when it comes to me.
All right. So
Like,
I want to watch Lords of Salem this weekend.
well, I mean, a lot of people hate it. Let's chat
I'll give
might
it a
be
shot.
a
But
tad
man, those first two, chef's kiss. I'm gonna give
That's
it
the
to them.
thing. That's the thing. Like how I've never seen a director go from insanely amazing. Like
Yeah.
House of Thousand Corpses is like
Oh,
iconic,
that
iconic.
hit me on so many levels,
Well,
man.
yeah. So you know, like the whole controversy of like the movie coming out, like all the like it was supposed to come out in like 2003.
No, I don't know about the controversy.
Oh yeah, so like Universal. See, I don't remember because it's been forever now. But like certain let's see if chat. Oh nope, they're ignoring me because I'm talking about Rob Zombie. Surely,
They're
um,
talking about airplane.
yeah, I know, right? So I know Universal made it, and then they freaked out, and pulled the plug, and I want to say like another company picked it up, but there was this whole controversy then like about it finally getting released. So I actually got a copy, like burned to two CDRs,
Of
and
course
like
you do.
yeah, it had like this muddy red like over like look to it. Like someone definitely videotaped it off of like a screener or something.
Yeah.
So it really added to the look of the movie, I
Oh,
thought,
sure.
especially the beginning with like the Saturday night like horror movie
Yep.
host and everything. So like, yeah, exactly. They're like Rob Who in the chat. So like I just like the story behind like getting a coveted like burned copy of it to watch it finally after all these years of like I mean what a evocative name for a movie too, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Thousand Corpses. Man, like that was cool. Going into the theater to see that, that was a real like watching a movie. I don't even know how to put it. You know what I mean though? Like that was a great movie to see in a theater.
Absolutely,
Spooky,
absolutely.
scary.
Yeah,
Even to this day, some of those scenes are scary.
yeah, like original like the initial Captain Spaulding stuff.
The Spalding stuff and the dark ride, and just
Yeah,
like this, the whole TCM feel that you know you're gonna get whacked. You're
yeah.
in the wrong place. Don't
So
mess with
it's interesting because House of Thousand Corpses has a TCM2 feel, and Devil's Rejects has a TCM1 feel.
one feel. You're right. I agree. Yep.
Weirdly, but yeah, yeah. So I don't really want to get into too much TCM stuff because yeah, that's
We'll hit
happening.
that. Yep.
But then my last honorable mention, diplomatic immunity,
What's
and then
that?
he shoots him. It's been revoked. Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh, Lethal. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. I'm still thinking about horror, but yeah,
Oh, my
Lethal
bad, my
Weapon
bad.
2.
Yeah,
Oh shoot. Yeah. See, there's all the man. You're right. There's that. Beverly Hills Cop 2.
yeah.
I didn't even think of these movies.
Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2. Good call.
Bad
But
Boys
my
2.
head's always in the is always in the horror clouds. The
Yeah,
one.
me too.
You're right. There's a lot of good action sequels. That's
We
where they really flourish.
Yeah, that's why I really wanted to. That's why I put Lethal Weapon 2 down for like. I mean, you had Rambo on there.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. But Lethal Weapon 2, like that's another one where like I think I've only seen Lethal Weapon 2. I don't know if I've seen Lethal Weapon 1. But Lethal Weapon 2 was the one I always
Yeah,
would.
starts out with the Mad Bomber in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
They
off.
were a good team. Who would have
Absolutely.
guessed, you know? That
Yeah,
was a good team, a teaming.
yeah,
They're no Turner and Hooch, but
yeah. Turner and Hooch. What a great movie. Tom Hanks at his finest.
yep.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. The like Rin Tin Tin, Turner and Hooch, like all the buddy cop dog movies.
Dog ones. There was another one too.
Yeah, there's like a John Belushi one.
Yeah. That's I didn't know if it was Piscopo or a John. Yeah, or
Of
Belushi.
course, you go right to Piscopo.
I'm sorry. I know it's a ton. Piscopooch.
Yeah. No, he was Dead Heat is such a good movie though.
It's awesome.
All right,
Oh,
so
it's awesome. Everybody dies.
yeah, John, no Jim Belushi because like
Yeah. Johnny John would have been dead by now. By then,
yeah, let's
Jim
see.
Belushi, poor guy.
Yeah. Only. Oh, what an awful guy. Um, well, I mean, think about it. What's he famous for? For his.
His brother.
Yeah. It's like
Ah,
it's like
like
all
Chris,
the.
like Chris Farley's brother.
Well, yeah. It's like Sylvester Stallone's brother.
Oh yeah, Frank.
Yeah, Frank Stallone.
Frank.
K9
Okay, that's it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Who was that? Was that
was.
with Jim Belushi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You ever see? And then what's her name? Stallone's mother. She used to do the Psychic Friends Network.
Really.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so
Jackie Stallone.
I have to watch. I have to see it. So like there is like compilations on compilations of 1-900 numbers. They they gotta be fake. Like I've been watching like
The cries.
yes, is that real?
I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I don't remember seeing those as a kid. But if it's fake, whoever did those deserves an award because they nailed it. The softness of it, the lighting, the color, the hair. I don't know, man.
So so a lot of them were like I did some research like the Freddy the Freaker
Yeah, 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 yeah.
is like
That's real.
yeah, it is real. It's like the LA area.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to I'm curious. I have to do some research if most of them like if that's where they come from is like is the LA metro area. A lot of those because like the crying one, like I was like, man, this cannot be real. But then like I looked through like the chat or like the comment section and stuff, and like it's mixed in with real ones because Freddy the Freaker is real, and like the Boglins one's real, and like all this stuff. It's like, how is this a thing? Like it's
I,
some of them.
it's insane. Like that, I do. Let's look into that. I wouldn't that be a book, like the history of 1-800 numbers? But I just picture. I wonder where it started. It had to start with something, maybe like with weather line when people calling in to check about the weather. But
Movie
and then you
phone.
got the adult ones, yeah. But it was like I just picture somebody renting out some office space and getting a bunch of like answering machine technology and it was like some I just picture like some liminal space. Have you ever heard it? Like this is a new topic for me. Liminal space.
No. I
Do a
mean, I've
little.
okay. Like what? Like what? Give me a preface here. What are we talking about?
So it's like I just stumbled upon this. It's like hallways, pictures of hallways, or pictures of waiting rooms. It's like this. I don't even man. This is it's weird, but liminal space. This it's like an aesthetic or like some sort of like lens you put over things. It's not like mall wave or stuff like that, but like similar. It's
Hmm.
just passage like hallways, places that are not really places. They're like in between places. I'm doing a horrible job explaining this, but I think anybody like I was reading about liminal spaces. There's like these Reddits devoted to it, and
Okay.
there's like pictures.
Yeah.
So if you just
I'm
you're
looking
looking
at
up
it.
like pictures and stuff,
Yeah.
you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's like dead malls.
It's like dead malls. It is like dead malls, or it's like hospital waiting rooms and stuff like that. And it really struck this chord in me. And I went to my mall yesterday, uh, and it hit me like there's just this like sterile emptiness, but there's still a nostalgia attached to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going on a weird old tangent now,
No,
but
it's definitely like with vaporwave for sure. It's definitely
yeah,
got that vapor wave aesthetic to it.
but
But
there are others out there like us.
absolutely, absolutely, we are forming, we are rising, we are taking over every facet of the entertainment industry.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got, I don't know if the people in the chat know, but we recently got management. We're managed by Classy DeSlizio, a
Yeah,
very high ranking agent out in Hollywood. So yeah,
we
some big
gotta.
things coming.
Yeah, that's we gotta figure that out for sure.
Oh man. Where
um,
were we? Oh, Lethal Weapon too. That's where we were.
Yeah, I know. We didn't even talk about Lethal Weapon 2. It ended up being it was Lethal Weapon 2 was more of a representation of the buddy cop, bigger, badder, like over the top. Which like you get into like the Die Hard sequels, like, but how do you beat Nakatomi Plaza? You don't.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So like they put it on a plane on the second one. And it's like okay, it's not. That doesn't. The sequel doesn't touch it.
I remember a video game. Was there like a Die Hard 2 video game?
There's a okay. So there is a few Die Hard video games. There's the Die Hard trilogy for PlayStation One.
That's what it was. Where like it's kind of like a top view and you go through the office complex.
So I don't know. Was it Top View Office Complex One? I'm not thinking it is because the Die Hard One part of it is Dynamite Cop from Japan, where it's like a third person 3D beat 'em up.
I'm looking it up. It I remember it was freshman year of college, and I was playing this game, and I had to take a shot every time I beat a level, and I beat the game, and it was a very bad scene. No, it was Die Hard trilogy. I'm looking at the pictures right now.
Is it overhead view?
Well, I guess to your point, it's a third person, so not really overhead, but yeah, third person.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You're not a really big video game person though.
I'm not. I'm not. I don't go deep into the video game. I mean, I love them, but that's the thing. I love them too much, so I got to keep away. I got a problem.
Oh, you know what? This might not be Dynamite Cop. Die Hard Arcade. I don't know. I'd have to do some research. I'm sure someone's gonna put me right. There is Die Hard the movie or Die Hard arcade game is definitely Dynamite Cop, but I don't know if this is
No, that was not the one. It was not Die Hard Arcade. I'm looking at that now, although that does look cool. The one I'm talking about is the Die Hard trilogy
okay.
for sure. That was a neat game.
So excellent stuff. Yeah, I remember the anyway. Yeah, Die Hard or Die Hard trilogy for PS1 was a good game for
Yep.
sure. All right, Joey, we finally made it.
Woo!
An hour 18 in, we made it to the list.
This is a big deal, man.
We might even have the same number 6.
Let me see. I'm pulling mine up. I don't know. I don't know.
Give me your number 6.
Temple of Doom.
Nope, we don't.
Temple of Doom. Loved it.
Kalima.
Alema.
Kalima.
My father used to do that to me. It would scare the hell out of me. I remember, man, that's a dark movie. That's what I'm
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
I mean like
the sequels, the darkness of Empire Strikes Back, the darkness of Temple of Doom, like child slavery in the mountains, like this weird cult and like just not a lot. I mean, in one of the greatest action sequences to start the movie, it was boom, 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 boom. That whole movie, they barely gave you a second to take a breath. It was action after action after action, and it was dark, man. Those people laboring in the caves, sneaking around. Short Round at his finest. The glowing stones and what's his name? Ram. Anyway,
Mola Ram.
Mola Ram. Yeah, great villain. The ripping out of the heart. Oh,
But does it have a hot tub kill?
it does not have a hot tub kill, unfortunately. A lot of kills, but not a hot tub kill.
Oh yeah. They're talking about Joe Pesci being the best part of Lethal Weapon 2. It's like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, what does he always say? Fuck, what does he always say? He's like, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
Where is he? Where
Joe,
is Pesci?
that's a good question. We need Joe Pesci on this show.
Joe Pesci.
But yeah, anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off. But so
No,
Temple,
that's it. That's the. I'm just one of those things. Another iconic one.
yeah, it's like the kid. The kid's like, you end up in a nightmare. Only you don't wake up from nightmare.
That's
Like,
Data, right? That's Data from Goonies.
no, it's one of the kids. that gets
Yeah,
kidnapped.
yeah. One of the child slaves. Yes, yes.
Yeah, and
Oh
then
my God.
chilled monkey brains.
Oh, one of the. Oh, that's like Faces of Death right there, man. That feast scene.
I wanted
Oh,
to eat everything.
you did with this
Yeah,
with
try it.
with
Like the
they cut open the
snake.
steak. Yeah, yeah, the pregnant snake.
Eat the live
Oh,
baby snakes. Like the giant beetles. They
yep.
like take like eating the meat right off it, and then for dessert, chilled monkey brains.
That it was
Like,
such a beautiful with the way they did it
yeah, it
too.
looks good. It looked very, very, very good to eat. I would have definitely.
I was reading, I didn't go too deep into it, but I was reading like in reflecting upon it, like everybody that worked on that movie was going through a bad time in their life, like divorce and all that. And like they said that a lot of that anger came out in that movie.
I could see that. I could
Yeah.
definitely see that. Which is gonna interestingly be brought up later in this list.
All right. All right. What was your number 6?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part Two.
Okay, so mine that is my number 5
Okay. Well,
right here.
close,
Let's
close.
bring it out.
Oh, you want to hit it right now? Yeah. Then it'll go into your five, and then we'll go into my five.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Let me hear it.
2 p.m. 2.
Chop shop.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like a fork on a china plate. I got. I don't know if you can see. I got like the chills and the goosebumps right now.
Yeah.
Ah,
What a good one. What a good sequel. Fits the formula over the top
it fits
for
the
sure.
formula, man. Now that we're getting into this and we're starting to see some themes. Number one, perfect movie. It could have
Oh, absolutely.
just ended with that, but they took it to another level. It's kind of like you said. It's the formula. Let's make it bigger. Let's break away. You throw in a lot of humor. You
Yep.
know, you don't take yourself too seriously, but you still give the thrills and chills. And you start to explore some characters. That bridge scene, I didn't know. I remember that bridge scene in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
blew my mind. I didn't know what was going on when Leatherface has the corpse on him, like he's playing like marionette with the corpse.
Yeah.
Insane, insane. And then I watched it again. I watched that clip yesterday, and like it's so weird. Like when they shoot at it, like the head just goes aside, and then you see Leatherface in his new mask. That was just a really cool reveal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie where Leatherface's mask actually looks decent.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah,
Yep.
after that, Leatherface, like three, mask starts looking like a beat up catcher's mitt.
Catcher's mitt. Exactly. I was going to say the same thing, like a baseball mitt.
Yeah. So, yeah, and Bill Mosley, phenomenal chop as
Oh,
Chop Shop, like great
amazing.
performance.
Great makeup.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
just
Oh,
that, the thing, the plate, and then the tunnels. Like I remember watching that when I was younger and I had the flu. I was like feverish and it was just gross. Like you're stuck in the subterranean for like that second half of the movie.
yeah.
And the good guy, everything is chaos.
Hmm.
Like there's no good guy in that movie. Everything is chaos.
Nope. Nope. It is a good one. It's definitely. I mean, obviously, like we said, does it live up to the sequel? I mean, it's not better than the sequel, or the does it live
Original.
up to the original? Yeah, thank you. I'd say obviously it's not as good as Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. Like we said, that's like it is. I would consider one of the perfect horror movies of all time. Like how much blood is in that movie? You
Oh,
know, not barely a drop.
yeah, yeah.
And like
You
just
don't need it.
you don't need it. Like just the camera angles, like how everything's done, phenomenal. So
Very
like
there's like claustrophobic part. Everything is tight. You're tight. You're in the car. You're in the radio station.
yeah,
You're in the tunnels.
yeah, yeah, definitely lives up to the original. It doesn't surpass it, but lives up to it for sure. And then unfortunately the series goes extremely downhill, extremely fast.
Did you see the new one, man?
No,
Don't.
I won't.
Don't.
I've learned my lesson. Don't worry.
I, I don't even want to talk about it.
I heard
I,
it
I
was
don't.
bad.
I talk about everything. I don't even want to talk about it.
Damn.
Horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
The
It's
girl from the first one comes. I don't. It's not even worth my time.
yeah. They tried to do the Halloween treatment to it. It sounds.
Exactly, man. I don't want. I don't want Leatherface to always be like the third fiddle to all the other icons. You know.
Yeah.
the family thing about Texas Chainsaw Massacre makes it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You have a family of these people.
Yeah, the Saws family.
Saw his family, man. Absolutely.
All right, number 5 for me. It's a controversial one because it's not a direct sequel, and I went with Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare.
Oh yeah,
Like, so it's an interesting one because
it
it's got
is.
it's got the 3D section, which is still pretty cool. Holds
Yep.
up to this day. I remember like I might have a little nostalgia glasses for it because I think I was in like 6th grade when it came out, and like all
Mm-hmm.
the older kids saw it, and like that was like the big thing was like, oh, like how cool is Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare? Like everyone, all the cool kids got to see it. All the big kids saw Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, and like because they all were wearing their 3D glasses, they thought they were cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But like story wise, it's actually good. Realistically, it is a tie with Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I would
That was a great movie.
Yeah, that's a great. I didn't want to put it on this list because it's a sequel, but it's so much more than a sequel.
Yes,
I didn't
it
want to
is.
put it on the list.
Yep.
But that was supposed to be in that spot. And then like yeah, I know like in the comments they talked about Dream Warriors and like I'm a huge Dream Warriors fan. And then like I mean Welcome to Prime Time. Like I'm pretty sure that was like Dream Warriors.
Yeah. I
And like
I I, I talk to me about Freddy's Dead. So not to put you on spot, but like Dream Warriors to me, 2 is its own thing.
right. Two
2 is
is
its own thing.
weird. Okay, yeah. So obviously we go back to number one being amazing.
Yep.
Nightmare on Elm Street number one is one of
Yep.
the best horror movies ever. Like the practical special effects they did on some of that stuff, amazing. And like Freddy Krueger as a character, brutal in it. Like very little one-liners. He was very bitter and like
Yes.
very definitely more mean than he was like playful.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Definitely more vicious, hands down. Like out for blood. And then yeah, then he starts to get more campy.
Yep.
And then you get to Freddy's Dead is like his daughter and like
Yes.
a bunch of students end up being able to like harness their power and ultimately destroy him. Wait. Yeah, Jason goes to hell. Somebody was saying Freddy goes to hell. No, Jason goes to hell. And then Freddy versus Jason, another good
What
one.
when Jason? What's the one where it ends with the claw coming out and grabbing the mask? Is that when Jason goes to hell?
I believe so. Yes.
I remember that was a big deal in the theater when
Oh my god. Yeah.
oh, that was before like the end of the at the end of you had to wait for the end of the credits to happen and all that.
Yeah,
That was
post credit scene. Back when like oh, that's a whole nother show we could do, best post credit scenes.
post credit scenes. So is I don't want to jump the gun. Is so I'm guessing that Dream Warriors is not on your list.
It is not. So I kept like number 5 was Freddy for Freddy. So like Freddy's Dead, Final Nightmare, Dream Warriors, like obviously like because you got that whole like insane asylum feel to
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
uh, and
Ah.
then yeah, great movie too. Like Dream Warriors is really good, and you got the Dawkins soundtrack. Like you
Oh
really
yeah, absolutely. Rocking with Dawkins.
yeah
Definitely. I I was watching 2 the other day because I was thinking about it for this. I couldn't pick which Nightmare on Elm Street I wanted on this list. And I think 5 and 3 are the ones that stick out. I give 2 um 2 is weird. 2 confuses me. Like I'm still kid. I love Nightmare on Elm Street, and I eat them like candy. But the physics of that world confuses me because
yeah
like in 2, you they're not always asleep when he comes around.
right
And
yeah
I
like
got
the
like because you
rules
got when you have
established.
a villain, you had to have strengths and weaknesses. You need your kryptonite, and one of Freddy's kryptonites are he's the sleep guy. He's the Sandman. But in that movie, there's times where like that doesn't it he breaks through that restriction.
Yeah, 100%. 2 is very strange. There's a lot of. Have you watched the documentary
No, I mean,
In Search of
I saw
Darkness?
like the first half hour of it, and I didn't finish it. Not because I didn't like it, just one of those things I didn't finish up
It's
about the overtones and all that.
yeah, it's interesting. I never thought about it like that, but In
I
Search
never
of
thought about it until I read an article about the documentary.
right.
And there's they fight like the guy, the actor and the direct, like they fight about, no, that wasn't the intention. Yes, it was the intention. And like it's weird. There's a lot of like personal things between the two, it seems. But
Yeah,
the
I want to say Freddy's Dead Final Nightmare starts off with the dog pissing fire.
oh god, what a man, they don't make them like they used to.
That is certainly true, Mr. Royale. All
They
right,
don't make 'em like they used to.
what is your number 4 for me?
All right, now we're getting into the meat right here. Road Warrior.
Oh, you went for it, huh?
I did. You got
Okay.
that?
No, no.
Okay.
I put no. So if it got talked about on another list, I tried not to keep it, even though Road Warrior really should be on the list because obviously it's the ultimate sequel. It's far superior than the original. Like Mad Max is not a good movie.
Yeah, it's one of those things again where I saw Road Warrior. I mean, I saw Road Warrior not having, you don't, once again, you don't need to uh not having seen Mad Max, and
Right.
I watched Mad Max way later on. But to me, I know we talked about it, I had to bring it up because to me it's one of those big things, man. For me, it's got like all the bad guys have masks, and I love that.
Yeah.
Like I love like any action figure or bad guy in a movie that had a mask. I'm obsessed with that. You
Yep.
got Lord Humongous with the Jason mask. You know,
Right.
you got like they're all wearing this weird bondage wear, and nothing beats a
Feral
wrist
Kid.
crossbow.
Oh, wrist crossbow. Plus, you got the metal boomerang that
The
chops
metal
off the guy's
boomerang.
fingers.
What you got? Like that kid reminds me of Chaka from Land of the Lost, like the little feral
He
kid.
he's got to be an homage to Chaka.
You might, you right? That's got to be intentional to an extent, right?
It has
With
to be.
the teeth, the forehead, and the hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
before.
but that's a really cool movie. You got the Mohawks. You got literally like the Road Warriors from wrestling, like anything with spikes, pads, Mohawks,
Well,
feathers.
I mean, it set the tone of what we know as post-apocalyptic, like wasteland,
Yeah,
like aesthetic. It's the movie. It's the Blade Runner of post-apocalyptic movies.
I think that's very well put.
Like
And like
yeah, Blade Runner is the cyberpunk. Road Warrior is the post-apocalyptic for sure.
Demolition, my favorite tag team. Like if there would not been, they wouldn't have looked like that if it was not for Road Warrior.
Absolutely, you're 100%
So,
right.
so I know I'm crossing the streams here, but
No,
I
it's okay.
had to throw that up there.
We didn't we don't have rules.
I
Rules
know,
are
I know.
rules are meant to be broken.
We didn't go deep down Road Warrior either. I don't think either. So I want to just
No, we kind
a
of
little.
we it's funny is we skimmed over it in the post-apocalyptic episode because of how iconic it is.
Exactly. That's the thing. So I wanted to bring it back, give it a little time to shine,
Yeah,
and going back to that. And
put
I'm
a
a Thunderdome fan too.
oh yeah, absolutely great song too.
I think Thunderdome was my first exposure to Mad Max, and then I went back. Then I saw Road Warrior, and then like years later I saw Mad Max.
Yeah, no, my first was Road Warrior. I remember that like the beginning over voiceover. It's like
Yes,
yeah
sick,
yeah
sick.
such like iconic.
What about you?
My number 4 is actually the sequel to what they consider the most successful independent movie of all time. New Line Cinema, the house that Freddie built, picked up this little movie based on a comic book that no one wanted. No one wanted this movie. They didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. But my boys, named after the Renaissance painters of old, they learned the secret of their origins in Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze.
Rid of the. Oh, I knew this was coming, man. Go ahead, go nuts. Open up
Uh,
the door. Everybody, grab a drink. Put your feet up. and bask in the glow of the Neon Lord as he waxes about the gents.
Okay, you know what's sad? I actually had to double check the date. I already knew the date, the year this movie came out. 1991. There I was. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle: Secret of the Use. Okay, so to preface this, the first one, I mean, if in case nobody's ever seen like the original New Line Cinema Ninja Turtles movie, I think like what, like 89?
It's like one person out there who's never seen that.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
I saw 'em- I saw all three of them in the theater, and I left three as I've never saw it past the theater until I had kids, right? And I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I'd have to go back and I don't even remember 3.
it's bad. It was bad. It was bad for me as a child, and it was
Yeah.
bad for me as an adult. Like, so it was bad. But anyway, so two, like the formula is there.
Yes.
Super
Yes.
Shredder exists.
Yes.
He's bigger, he's badder, right? So then the big thing is, are they going to bring Bebop and Rocksteady? No, they did one better. They made Toka and Razor.
Yeah.
Like they made brand new IP for the movie. You know,
Oh,
like
so that was because I'm not. I don't have a big background in the comics, so that those were made for the movie.
so. I'm pretty sure that they Toka and Razor made their first
Yeah.
appearance. Let me I'm sure someone's gonna hem me up if I don't get this right.
Yeah, you got it. You got to nail this one, man.
Yeah. Like, let's see. I Origin. Okay, obviously, first appearances. I'm pretty sure only appeared in the 7th season of the '87 cartoon series. In '93, they were featured in one
Okay.
episode. That's pretty much it after the
Yeah.
movie. So
Yeah.
yeah, they were made for the movie. So like a hot take on that too, like that they didn't bring. Yes, I know. I'm gonna get the Vanilla Ice chat. Don't worry, it's coming. Like, don't worry, I got this
You
thing.
guys are awesome in the chat tonight. Thank you. This is I love the conversation there.
So you got like where do I even start? Pizza Fever off the beginning. Everyone's got the iconic slices in their hands.
So good, man. I'm thinking about that right now. I'm getting hungry. The pizza looked really good in that movie.
Oh, absolutely. It was that quintessential New York slice, right?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
got the moots coming off the
Yeah.
the
It
the
was always
plate.
good. Yeah. Jesus, I'm starving. I already ate dinner too. Yeah.
So and then Eddie Reyes Jr. Right? Is that his name? Eddie Reyes Jr. See, this is the problem with not prepping this. Just going off of memory is like always the worst.
It's always but it's better.
Yeah, Ernie Reyes Jr.
Already right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ernie Reyes Jr. Surf Ninjas, like with Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider always shows up in our talks too, but like follows the Foot Clan down into a I don't even know what they're stealing out of this weird like underground mall, only to be foiled by our green our boys in green, which they had to tone the violence down for part two
Yes, I
because
remember hearing about that. Yeah, it was. This was
because
supposed to. This was supposed to be the dark one.
right. The first one was so dark, and then I mean, Raph like almost gets murdered. They
Yeah.
throw him through a skylight, and like he's in a coma for like the the part two of the movie. It's like so they actually use their weapons in the first one. So this
Yeah.
one,
This one they didn't use weapons a lot,
no,
right?
no, not at all. They weren't even allowed to. The
What's the explanation for that?
because what in the movie
Yeah,
there is none. They just don't use
they
them.
just don't use them.
No. So there is a scene in the beginning, or a part of that scene where Michelangelo uses pepperoni as nunchucks,
Oh my god,
and and that part even got cut from the UK version because it was too violent.
too violent.
Well,
So
nunchucks are actually too violent in the UK. So like and they're not Ninja Turtles, they're Hero Turtles in the UK. And Michelangelo had a grappling hook. He didn't have nunchucks.
seriously,
Yeah.
what's going on over there?
I don't know. So yeah, so let's see. Turtles: Secret of the Ooze. Yeah, so it foils the plan. They bring the kid in for deposition, So
Yeah,
like,
I'm looking at this too. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna go plot for plot because we're only on number four, and I'm already like gushing over one of my favorite movies. So then you got the Ooze. TCRI gets into the like because they were in the comics, so they were like pivotal into this one. Toka Reza gets made with the same ooze, and Shredder
Yes.
gets his hands on it, becomes Super Shredder. So you got bigger stakes, you got bigger sets, you got everything you need. I like ooze better than the first one just because I was a little older at the time, well, older. I was like 9 when it came out. So like I was a little bit more, like theater savvy, I suppose.
Aware.
No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure.
no. It was more fun. It was a way more fun movie. Yeah, and then everyone knows that they're fighting Token Razor, and they bust into a Vanilla Ice concert, and he sings the iconic Ninja Rap,
Go
which
Ninja, go Ninja, go.
yeah, which is still played on my Spotify playlist to this day.
Yeah, you got it. It's a great getting ready for work song.
Yeah, so yeah, Secret of the Ooze is great. It's just over the top, zany. Everything I like about the Turtles. It was closer to the cartoon
The cartoon for
than it
sure. Yeah,
was for the comics. Yeah, because the first one was so close to the comics that like they should have all just worn red masks.
yeah, yeah. It's weird they started off that way. You already have a successful cartoon in toy line, and to go back to the source material, which wasn't really a kid thing, it was kind of a strange choice.
Yeah, a very strange choice. Yeah, I mean, oh man, parents. I mean, my parents didn't really care. So like in retrospect, seeing back, like all the parents now were all up in arms about that first Turtles movie.
And that's why they took away the weapons, right? That's
Yep.
why they
Yep.
let's
That's
calm
why
down. We
like
don't think a lot.
yeah, they're in the toy store using like zany toys as weapons and
Yeah.
then like yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Did you follow the the trajectory of the comics and stuff like that? Did you go that deep into turtledom?
No, so actually there was a dollar store in our mall that sold the trade paperbacks of all the original comics. Like I still want to buy
Really?
those. Yeah, I got like the like book 2 or book 1 and book 2 from there. And that's like that was my foray into the comics, which is an interesting story because that was the same way I got into Judge Dredd too because when the movie came out, a dollar store by my parents' grocery store were selling the comics like for like 35 cents a pop and they had all these Judge Dredd books. So I snagged up all those because of the movie.
I see. That's how you got into that?
Yeah, that's how I got into that, and then that's how I learned from those Turtles trade paperbacks of like all the original like a book, an
Yeah.
anthology of all the original stories put into one. That's how we learned that there was a comic. I mean, because we're just kids. I didn't know that it was like a
Yeah, right,
like
right,
a
right.
like a Daredevil spin-off comic. Well, not
Yeah.
spin-off, but parody comic.
Yeah, I never went down the path of the comics.
There's some cool stuff. There's definitely
But
some cool stuff in them.
but I went like on lunch break or something. I went down the rabbit hole of the Wikipedia of like the whole story, and boy, it gets pretty sad.
Yeah. And then the
By the
last
way.
Ronin, yeah, the last Ronin stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was reading about.
Yeah, it's wild. So yeah,
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part Two: The Secret of the Ooze got a
Secret.
great tagline. It's got everything you need in a sequel for sure, bar
It
none.
definitely fits the. It fits. I'm glad that we figured out the formula.
Yeah, I mean, call us up, Hollywood. We'll make a sequel for you.
We got bags of stuff.
Yeah,
We got bags of stuff just sitting around the old mausoleum. Good choice. Secret of the Use captures that '90s feel.
absolutely. It definitely it's a time capsule of the '90s, a
Yeah,
thousand
it is.
percent.
It
And
is.
it's like in the height of turtle fever, like we were saying with the
Oh,
pizza slices and everything.
yep. Yep. Uh, number 3. Should we go?
What was your four? Oh, Road Warrior.
Road Warrior.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're number three. Give it to me.
Evil Dead 2.
Put a pin in it.
I will. I'm sure that was going to be higher on yours. but
Yeah.
I had to wedge something in, and I had a last minute change.
Damn, that was your number 3?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we're getting weird.
Yeah. So my number 3 is actually Predator 2.
Good choice. So that's that. It's funny you mentioned that. I introduced my son to Predator the other night. We had a sleepover down in the Mozzarella Mausoleum. We pulled out some things and we watched it down here in the basement while the ladies were upstairs. And we're slated to watch that over the next couple of weekends.
Yeah. Chat is going off the hook.
What do they say? I got to
Oh
hop
my
on.
god, I don't even like. So someone came in late, so they wanted to know what was said already. 1,000 movies. Uh, somebody
Backing
fired
us up, that 3 was really awful for sure. TMNT 3.
something about hitting an arrow, about like hitting somebody with an arrow, a neighbor. Yeah. Okay, so all right,
Let's talk about Predator 2. I want to know.
Predator
It's
2,
been a while since I've seen it.
bigger stakes,
Yep.
and so I love this sealed it for me too. So the Predators, like, um, conflict. They're attracted to conflict in hot weather, right? Like, so it's a heat wave. It's a heat wave in L.A. during a crime spree, and
That's right. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
attracts a hunter predator to come in and like start fighting these gang members and stuff. And so like the cops, Danny Glover and Gary
Right.
Busey, Gary Busey at his finest.
At its finest for sure. And I mean that.
Absolutely. Cops, right? Trying to
Yeah.
figure this out. Like, what a great concept. I love out of like a cop out of its element story, like a normal beat cop, well, they're like detectives or whatever, like against something supernatural.
That's a good genre, just in general.
It
I
is.
can't I can't pull like a lot of examples out of my head right now. But
I There's the Dolph Lundgren where he I come in peace. Yep.
yes, I forgot about that one.
I just
Dolph is
got it
the
on
man.
I just got it on VHS for
Dolph
the
is
shop.
awesome.
Oh, absolutely. He's got
Dolph is
another movie out. It's like zombies versus robots or something.
with Dolph in it.
Yeah.
Newer?
Yeah, brand
Okay,
new.
yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah,
so
Predator 2. Sorry.
no,
Yeah.
you're good. So Predator 2 definitely hit the sweet spot of I was too young to be watching rated R movies and I watched
Yes.
this movie. And there's like full frontal. There might even be a hot tub kill in Predator 2.
I'm looking that up right now because that rings a bell.
I hope there is because I want to add one to the list.
My wife waxes nostalgically about Predator 1. That was her father took her to see that when she was way too young.
I mean, yeah, I mean Predator 1 obviously I think like hit super high. I think I talk about Predator 1 all the time. There's like 1,000 references to it in the book. Like Predator 1 is like one of like my all-time favorite movies of all time. I guess
This
all
Predator
time.
2, the skin corpses. I
Yeah,
remember that.
skin. Well, yeah, they're in the first one too.
Yeah. But in the city scene.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you cannot beat it. Like, it takes everything you love from the first one, ramps it up, throws in like the alien skull, the xenomorph skull in
Yeah.
the end. There's like the revolver that has like a date on it that the predator gets that like had like spawned a whole comic series.
I'm thinking, man. I'm
Like,
thinking.
yeah, and then like the two see, I don't know like the all the yeah, and then Carl Weathers and Arnold were in the original one. So yeah, so like obviously they beat out Busey and Danny Glover, but and you had Jesse the Body Ventura with Old Painless, like
Yeah.
phenomenal movie. Like I can go on and on.
Imagine what the craft table was like, or like their lunchtime. I always thinking about that with a group like that, just all sitting around
Well,
having lunch in between takes.
even think about it in the original before Stan Winston got involved. JCVD was the man behind the mask and the Predator costume.
Yes, yeah. I read about that. That's right.
Yeah, so he was around for a little bit.
He was too small.
Yeah, and he complained the whole time.
Oh, I bet he did.
Prima
And
donna. hot dog and in grandstanding.
Um, did you ever see that the GI Joe, the Spirit that came out? That is basically the character from Predator.
No.
So when
What?
they did, remember after they did that, remember the 25th GI Joes where they had all the guys, they brought them all back on the cards.
No. I'm not huge into Joe's.
What? No, it's okay.
No,
I'm a big
so like,
So there was a GI, Spirit Iron Knife, the Native American tracker, and he's got the eagle and all that. They redid like in the 2000s, probably around before it was right before time, about 2007. They started. It's the 25th anniversary of the 3 3/4 inch GI Joes, and they remade all the guys with extra joints and all that. And then they moved on after the 25th. They started to make some other, like, I don't know, updates and stuff like that. But there was one that is based. I think his name's Billy
hmm
from Predator, right? The Native American character.
yes, 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 yes. Oh, I see what you're
Basically,
saying.
they made it's an homage to him.
That's awesome.
It was really cool. Yeah, it's a good figure.
Okay, so when it comes to GI Joe, like, yeah, obviously I've seen it as a kid, and like I had a bunch of Joes as a kid, like, but like realistically nowadays, Snake Eyes is like the only thing. I have a Snake Eyes on card, not like obviously like a reprint one.
Yeah,
But I mean, because like it came with a dog and like Uzis and katanas, like
yeah.
so like yeah, like that's. But I'm a Motu guy, like that's like my bread and butter.
Yeah, I'm Motu, but GI Joe, that was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
And um, like looking back, the cartoons just don't hold up as well. But I really like collecting the figures, and I just saw a Snake Eyes that's coming out, and he comes with the damaged head, like from the helicopter crash.
Damn. There's that there's like that it's like a Cobra, like command, not commander, but like a Cobra captain or something, that like he's like super articulate, and you can like take the magazine out of
Oh
his
yeah, they're
yeah.
going crazy with these figures now.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Like it's definitely, did Lord Blood come from GI
From,
Joe?
from Major Blood,
Yeah.
a little bit. It's a touch of that.
Okay, I thought about that because like Major Blood. So like I don't know, like I do like. There's a lot of aspects of GI Joe I like Major Blood, Destro, and like
Yeah,
the Dreadnoks.
Dreadnoks.
Yeah.
What you're mentioning right now is what I absolutely adore about GI Joe. I
Okay.
was always a bad guy. Dreadnoks in particular,
The
Zart,
Terradrome.
Zartan. My
Yes.
neighbor had the Terradrome. I mean, Zartan, that figure was awesome, changing color, the masks. Once again, a guy with masks. The Dreadnoks, like, I guess a couple of shades away from like post-apocalypse. That's like their GI Joe's take on a post-apocalypse.
Yeah,
And
and they were. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
then you get into Cobra La,
Oh,
which are like
yeah.
that's what I really love about GI Joe.
Well, Cobra La, King Hiss from
Oh
Motu, right?
yeah,
Conan. Like I'm telling you right
Serpentor.
now, and Serpentor, right? So everybody, like, there was always like a snake villain, right? Like
Yeah,
hiding in the shadows. I'm gonna eventually. This is a Neon Lords thing. We're on a Neon Lords channel, so I'll talk about it for a
yeah.
little bit.
Please,
Definitely, there's gonna be like snake resurgence of like King Hiss type, bad baddies like showing up on a giant like update for sure.
you're right. That's a necessity.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Cold Slither. There
Yeah.
was an episode where the Dreadnoks and Zartan have a band called Cold Slither. They're awesome. Cold Slither will be joining you soon. Excellent.
So I love
So
it.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking of, as we were talking about Predator 2
Yeah.
in the city, I'm thinking about a pod landing in Ninja City
Oh,
and that
yeah.
pod containing some sort of predator creature.
So
And
I
like,
do have if yeah, back to Neon Lords, the Carnifex in
yeah,
that the monster in the book called the Carnifex is the Predator.
that's such a great name too.
I know, it's one of my favorites. Like Jewels of the Carnifex, the Dungeon Crawl Classics, the band Carnifex.
Yep.
There is a magic card called the Carnifex Demon.
Um, I'm trying to think here. Um, I thought there was a GI Joe alien named Carnifex, but I'm off. No,
So anything that has an X in the name, I'm interested in.
or if anything's pluralized with a Z, then
Oh,
they're going with
obviously, yeah.
that. Yeah,
That was a whole thing. So like I from I don't know if I ever told this story. From Jump Street, I always wanted to call it Core Rules with a Z, right?
yep,
And I did it through all the Kickstarter, and then I was like, I googled Neon Lords, which is like you never Google yourself, right? That's what they always say. And
yeah,
I ended up on like a RPG forum where they were talking about the Kickstarter, and they were bitching about the fact that it was with a Z. Like, oh, that's so stupid and all this stuff. So then, of course, me like not knowing anything at the time, like, oh, it's just all tongue in cheek, like promotion. Like it'll have an S, it'll have an S, and they're like, okay, cool. And then like I was like, you know what? Screw it. I don't give a
yeah.
fuck what these guys have to say. And then I put the Z right on the cover. I
You
smashed.
have to, man.
Yeah, you have
Absolutely.
to. And then I was
Ninja
like,
City the same way.
yeah, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't care what these like fools have to say. If they don't like it, the Z, then don't buy the book. I guess I don't know. I
No,
hate that.
absolutely.
I hate
I
that
mean,
that mentality. But
I think you and I both, not to our own horns, but with like the zines that we're doing, like it's an intentional. We didn't realize it, but it's become like an intentional kind of detour from the norm. And in Z Force and Ninja City and Bad Dudes, it's all Z's. You have to. That's part of the tribe.
yeah, what
Why
about
use an S? Why when you can use a Z?
exactly? That's like that '90s in your face marketing. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yep. It's extreme.
yeah, extreme marketing. Like, blast processing on the Sega Genesis blows
Yeah.
the Super Nintendo out of the water.
Blast processing.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. You had to do Z's. What about like not really a Z but Spiral Zone? What a
Oh,
what a
yeah, dude.
what a concept, right? Like
What a
we'll
concept.
have we'll have to do a
That's straight
whole
from Japan.
yeah we'll have to do a whole like a 80s 90s cartoon episode because like this isn't really the place to get into the Spiral Zone.
I'm a fan. I remember getting
It's
that I got a figure for Christmas one year.
talk
That 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 was one of I speak in hyperbole all the time, but when I speak about Spiral Zone as being an underappreciated toy line, you had 8-inch figures with amazing weapons, great posability, and cloth costumes, and they're half zombies. Totally unappreciated.
talk about a dark
Yeah. Yeah.
series too.
Yeah. You don't hear a lot about Spiral Zone.
Mm-mm.
Only on the Neon Lords channel, of course.
Yeah, and Toy Galaxy. You ever watch Toy Galaxy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Ben Larson.
Good good song. The Spiral Zone theme song.
Oh, absolutely. Talk about yeah, good theme songs. Spiral Zone's up there. All right, so your number three was Evil Dead.
Yep.
My number three, Predator Two. Predator Two, great scene. The spaceship scene,
Yeah.
awesome. Like, just like I love how I know it's still on Predator Two. I love how like how much lore do you know about the Predator like homeworld outside of like comic books and like
Not
stuff.
much. Not much.
Exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
love about it. Like the I got like tons of Predator toys over there. The just the unknown like just makes it so much better. Like I know there is a lot to know about it now and like all the
Now,
different
yeah. Now, but once again, like you were talking about before with Michael Meyer, like you don't you only need a couple of seeds.
yeah, exactly. They definitely do the Michael Myers formula of a couple seats, especially like the first movie, absolutely nothing
Nothing.
about him.
Nothing about
And,
it.
and then like the second movie rolls around and like you kind of get an idea of like, well, clearly there's a hierarchy because like the elder, I don't even know what they would be called. Like I know there's all these types of like names for them and stuff. Like the two elders come and get like
Yeah.
the youngling or whatever the fledge I don't know the fledgling or something. I don't know. There's a guy at work who knows like way more about the.
You got a predator guy at work?
Well, yeah, I got a predator guy at work. Like he knows like all that stuff. He's like a kid who's like knee deep in it. I'm like, hey man, like I know like if it bleeds, we could kill it. Like
Right. But there is like deep lore.
yeah, and the Alien versus Predator arcade game. It's
Yeah.
probably I play it. I have it on everything. I constantly play it, and they just released like toys for it.
The AVP toys.
AVP video game toys.
Oh man, I know
Yeah.
they got figures for everything now. It's
Yeah,
like
I don't know if they just released them, but I'm finding them now. And
those
like,
Kenner figures were cool. Now I got to go back. Damn it! Now you got me going down something else on eBay. I got to look up the Kenner Predator figures. A lot of
yeah.
cool glow ones and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Those figures. And then like there's one over there, but like the newer figures with the old packaging, the old Kenner packaging on them.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I
I
got
never saw that coming, man.
no, I got one over there that I was gonna pull. I'll show it to you later. I'll send pictures.
Yeah, that and it, like the Predator and Aliens figures. That was like some of the last figures I bought as a non-collector, like in my youth. Like
Same, same. That was like the Predator. Yep, the Aliens and the Predator were the last bastion of childhood for me.
Swamp Thing too.
So I like we talked about the Swamp Thing one with the arm that pulls
Yeah,
out and
yeah.
then you could squeeze his legs and it retracts. I had that one. Yeah, Swamp Thing. Was I a little older at that point? I don't think so.
That's when like Kenner. My mask is crooked tonight. That's when Kenner started to do like that was around the time of like a million Batmans. Like they had just a million Batman. All they would do, they'd take the same mold, which is basically the superpowers mold, and repaint it a million times. But and then they moved on to Aliens and Predator, and that
Yeah,
was like towards the end for me.
yeah. You know what? We didn't touch on, which we should have too in Turtles 2, like back an hour ago, was Batman Returns had the like I didn't realize the parental outcry for that movie.
Put a pin in it.
Yes. I didn't even think of it. Yes. Okay. I'm very happy right now because there's a whole controversy about a talk show about Batman Returns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll have to.
Like a
Well,
real life talk show, like a Sally Jesse Raphael kind of thing, where they're complaining about it.
yep.
Dark as hell, man. Dark
Supposedly
as
had
hell.
paid actor kids talking about.
Oh, nice! I gotta look that up.
Yep.
I love stuff like I love
Okay.
plants.
Yes, I love it. I finally Joey gets a pin. This is like probably your first pin. I feel
We're
like.
hitting our stride, man. I'm feeling
Yeah.
this episode. We're hitting our stride now.
Episode 6. I mean, realistically, if you really think about it, we hit our stride on episode 1, baby.
Oh,
Out
I
of
mean,
out
like
of the
the
gate,
first 30 seconds,
we're like, yeah, like
10 out of
Ghost
5
Rider.
Madones on that one, on
Oh
all of
yeah,
them.
10 out of 5 mod owns.
10 out of 5 Madones.
So all right, so hitting your number 2 then.
Batman Returns.
All right, excellent, excellent,
That's
excellent.
it, man.
Excellent.
So just when, like, okay, I'll never forget when Batman came out. You
Right,
had
89.
Batman Fever. I had
89 Batman.
Woo! What a summer. I think we talked about this too. That might have been like, was it the same summer as Dick Tracy? And like, there was just some cool things going on. But Batman comes out, you know, it was revolutionary. It was awesome. Once again, a time capsule for the time. You get the Prince soundtrack. You got marketing out the wazoo. You could get Batman everywhere. Colorful, you know, very green, very purple, very black and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And then, boom, the whole palette changes.
Yeah.
And it's black and white and cold blue.
Yeah.
The whole movie, there's a chill to it. Literally, you know, it's wintertime. And you got the snow falling. You got Max Shrek.
Mm-hmm. Christopher Walken at his finest.
Yeah. You got the Chester Cobblepot. Like we have never seen him before. Forget about it. All this superhero stuff. The kids now, here I am on my porch. The kids now have no idea. We never had that much access.
I mean, think about it. Think about this though. We watched Adam West do the Batusi.
Yeah.
And then like we were like Nick at Night, right? So like
Burgess Meredith.
Yeah, we're used to the 68 Batman doing the Batusi with Adam or like Ben or Robin, whatever his dang name is.
Ward.
Burt Ward, that's right. Yeah, I was trying to do it all. Like I was trying to do Burt Ward with Dick Grayson at the same time.
Yeah.
So we got, and then Vincent Price as the Eggman. I was just telling my wife about that.
Oh my God, the Rogues Gallery of that show. You had Burgess Meredith. Wait, am I misspeaking? Uh,
No, that's he was
no, no,
Penguin.
no. The Penguin, right? And Fred Gershwin as the Riddler.
Right. But
Like,
anyway,
who is this nuts? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I don't want to get on a 60s Batman tint, but like
I'm a
that's
huge
I mean, but
yeah.
that was our live action,
That's our frame of reference.
yeah, frame of reference. And then all of a sudden, Michael Keaton and Tim Burton come, blow it out of the water with '89 Batman, right? And you got Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Like
Yeah,
the Joker was huge even before that. And then Batman Returned comes out, yeah, and then just takes it. Yeah, and then like, you pinned it perfectly with like the color palette, like totally just took it and like completely went darker with it.
they
So
goth. I mean, that's like the goth Batman
oh,
movie.
absolutely. I mean, he torches a guy with the flame that shoots out of the Batmobile.
Yeah, yeah. This was a crazy movie with Catwoman falling out of the window, and one of the scenes that scarred me as a kid was, and it became a phobia of me, of having a bird fly in my mouth. When she opens up her mouth, Catwoman, and a bird flies out of her mouth.
Yeah, and
Uh, but then you
is it,
got Chester Copperpot. He's got the um, oh, I'll remember what it's called, but didactylism. Like he's got
yeah.
he was born different, and his parents like threw him in the sewer,
Mm-hmm.
and he's always stained, and he's eating the raw fish.
Bites the guy's nose.
Bites the guy's nose. That's right. Your nose is bleeding. What do you nose? It is now. He is just vicious.
the
You see the tortured Batman in that one. That's where the tortured soul comes out. But Batman 2, that's it right there. Batman Returns, it's a whole nother world. That was before we had access to this, all the wonderful superhero movies that we have now. That one smacked you in the face
yeah
and said, this is, forget superpowers, forget all your shows from the 60s up till now. This is different. We're getting dark. You're gonna know that Batman is a tortured soul, and these villains are bad people.
yeah. So you had Catwoman as a bad as a
Michelle
villain.
Pfeiffer,
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer.
in
She was
that
a
cat suit. Woo!
yeah. That's a 8 out of 5 mottos right there.
That's 8 out of 5 months. That's a Gumati for you right there.
Gumari. Uh, um, yeah. I mean, Max Shrek is a villain essentially in it too. Like nobody's good in this movie.
Nobody. That's the thing. That's the thing, Brian. No, that's what I love that. Nobody's
Yeah,
good in this movie.
yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. Batman. He's got. He's not all there. Batman's off.
yeah. Isn't there like a tree lighting scene where the like bats fly out of it, right?
Yeah, it's that Batman is scary in this movie. People are scared of Batman. If the bats come out,
Yeah,
he is a creature of the night. He's not going around high fiving little kids. He makes his mark on that town.
yeah, yeah. I gotta go back and rewatch that one. So like, I never saw as a kid the Batman and Robin.
No, with the movie,
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger
forget
one.
about it. Oh,
I never, I know, I never watched it. Like, I
never
know, like,
watched it either.
I think I went to a sleepover, and then like my family went without me, and and I missed, and
You didn't?
I never saw it until I was an adult, and then I never finished it because it was so awful.
Somebody just wrote, Skunkworks TT wrote, I can't stop thinking about Tim Burton telling Kevin Smith that he had never read a comic book. Incredible.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if that's true, because I feel like he definitely read some Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Oh, for that? Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. I thought he was maybe referring to never reading a Batman comic book,
No,
because
I feel like
that would be cool.
Tim Burton is like hyperbolic in his
But Johnny the Homicidal Maniac wasn't around that time.
had to have been, wasn't it like an '80s
Batman
book?
2? I thought Johnny the Homicidal Maniac was in the 90s. But who knows? But yeah, if you haven't seen that in a while, it's a good one. Like just the mise en scène in this movie, like everything is a little. It's either extremely clean, like 80s coke clean, or like gross.
Oh yeah,
Like,
95 to 97. My bad. I don't mean to
yeah,
cut you off.
no, that's all right.
I thought it was
But
older.
Danny DeVito as the Penguin is one of the greatest villains I've ever seen on a film. I love him. He just
Yeah.
nails it.
The yeah. So
Then lot of vengeance in that movie.
I'm really happy. I'm really happy that your number two was Batman Returns. This actually became because I was afraid, not necessarily afraid, but I thought we were gonna all hit like every horror movie because like we're
Yeah,
that's like our main. I feel like
that's our thing. I'm
yeah.
branching out a little bit, uh, especially when it comes to sequels, because horror sequels can be a dime a dozen. Throw
Oh,
the mask,
absolutely.
throw the
Yeah.
mask on again. Get some new campers and we start over.
I mean, there's a reason why I Halloween 2 made honorable mentions, and Freddy's the only well TCM 2. Not I don't consider that a slasher. I never really considered
No,
Texas Chainsaw a slasher.
there's a different no, because it's not an ind. So the slasher movies, to me, not to get too philosophical here, but just humor me for a second. The slasher is a self-absorbed, no rules killing machines.
Yeah.
Dramatic experience or something, made fun of, and then they go off on their own. There's a supernatural element introduced. It's the Leatherface and his family,
Mm.
non-supernatural. Uh, that
Plus,
really hit it with me.
TCM came out before the slasher craze.
It did, and that's more about isolationalism.
Yeah, absolutely. They the Ed Gein
It's the
aspect.
Ed Gein. It's the Ed Gein aspect. It's the old ways of the Midwest, and it's its own mythology. We do things our own way around here, kind of thing. And it's the encroaching city slicker aspect. It's
Yep.
we're gonna put the city slicker who's making fun of us in place, which is emulated also in like House of a Thousand, those movies, House of a Thousand Corpses, and all
Even
that.
even has a tinge of Last House on the Left.
Yeah, it does. It does. Then the slasher, I think, is separate. So yes, commercially now, the Mount Rushmore is Freddy, Jason, uh, Leatherface, and Chucky, who I don't
Well,
think.
no, I wouldn't put Chucky up there. I would put Ghostface Killer.
Yeah, I guess so too. But you see Chucky pop up in all these things.
Yeah,
Like all these things, these products now, they shove them all together.
I hate.
Texas
Yeah,
Leatherface is his own man.
I hate like as a Puppet
Oh,
Master, demonic toys fanatic, I hate Child's Play.
I'm not a child. I'll tell you, man. Me too. As a
Yeah,
kid, it scared me. Now I don't. I don't get it.
yeah. So like, yeah, it scared me as a kid too. I remember Danny Canfield had a birthday party where they saw Child's Play 3, and I was happy I didn't go because I was afraid of.
Yeah, absolutely. It's scary.
Yeah,
Running around and all that. Being
yeah,
a My Buddy fan.
yeah. Then I saw it. I saw it like later in life, the first one. And I don't regret my decision of never going to Danny Canfield's birthday party.
Danny Canfield. If
Yeah,
you thought that counts, buddy.
yeah, but like yeah, like the first one, I don't know, but I do love Puppet Master.
I'm gonna go back to Puppet Master. I mean, I was upset. I had all the
Uh,
posters on my wall.
yeah,
I had all the posters on my wall. I have all the figures and all that. It's just when I watched it again a little bit later, I don't know. I'll go back to it though because it does have a deep place in my heart.
damn. I thought I put Puppet Master on the list because I got the whole Blu-ray box set. Popcorn Primavera list. It's not at the end of this episode. Remind me. I'll after our thing. I'll go down the Primavera 20,
Okay. Yeah,
and then we
sure.
can kind of chit chat about them a little bit. Okay, so
Batman Returns was my number 2. How about you?
my number two actually is the third to one of yours, and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Nice one. Yeah.
So talk about um, the Hawaiian pizza was famous. Pizza Hut came out when Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade came to VHS, and if you bought a Hawaiian pizza, like ham and pineapple pizza, you got to buy a copy of one, two, or three for like $5.
Really?
And then that was my foray into pineapple on pizza as a child, and Last Crusade because we bought it, and that movie is amazing.
I don't want to get on this tangent too far, so it's just a quick yes or no, if you don't mind.
No, that's fine. I don't mind. Even if we go on a tangent, I don't care.
Just quick. Do you enjoy pineapple on pizza?
I do not.
I love it.
I mean,
I act-
I figured you would.
Am I that guy? Ah!
No, no, no. You're not
I
that
like
guy.
that.
It's just as of recent events, I figured you would like pineapple on pizza.
Oh yeah. My diet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I'm not a huge fan, but I will say the pineapple ham pairs very well with the Pizza Hut crust, the pan
Absolutely.
crust.
Yes. If you're
So,
gonna, yeah, Pizza Hut. That just kind of yes. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's definitely.
but like
So
if it came down to like a nice thin slice of Neapolitan, I would say no.
no. It's a different pizza. It's
Yeah,
a different
absolutely.
pizza experience.
Yeah, you gotta have. Yeah, so that's the
You
thing.
don't get
Like,
a you don't get a brick oven pineapple pizza.
I mean,
You know?
they offer it. I guarantee.
Yeah. That's for other people. I'm talking about like the Domino Pizza Hut experience.
Yeah. So
Pineapple on that.
for
Nobody's
sure.
gonna die. People take that too seriously.
No, that's like Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's the same people. They don't put pineapple on their pizza and they think Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
I love that you opened up the box for Last Crusade.
Okay, yeah, I love this is one of my favorite movies as a kid because like it's got everything. It's got the circus train chase scene when he's got the cross Coronado and then it follows him through his whole life to try to get this cross.
I love the depth of the
Oh my god.
indie bio. You could tell that they loved indie.
Yes, a thousand did, 1,000% did, and like and then they murdered my boy. They massacred my boy in the Crystal Skulls.
Yeah, that I got to go back to Crystal Skulls. I didn't get too deep into that. I think I watched it once, but I
I,
do want to see that
I
again.
saw it in the drive-in.
That must have been a cool experience.
I mean, I still. Do you have any drive-ins around you still?
We do have one. Yeah, not too far away. We went to go see Jurassic Park there last summer. Actually, that was awesome.
Yeah, I'm still a fan. Still, I remember my earliest experience was I saw E.T., which I'm not a huge
Yeah,
E.T. fan, but I remember like laying in the back of the Chevy like with like a sleeping bag and stuff, watching it through like the hatchback.
the hatchback can't beat that, man.
Yeah,
Can't beat it.
and like I'm a huge fan of like the let's go down to the snack bar.
Oh yeah, the
Like
concession, the dancing hot dogs and all that.
the concession ads, which like you can watch them all on like DVD and stuff.
I
Like
drove. I found an awesome old one today. Uh, Drive-in. That's just in the next town next to mine. I never knew it was there. That it was still standing. No longer used, completely overgrown, but the screen's up.
hmm,
Awesome. I got to go back and take pictures. I loved
yeah,
it.
for sure. Like but which is interesting. Like I talked about this in an interview for like a show I was on. How COVID actually saved like the drive-in theater.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how
Absolutely.
awesome was that?
Yep.
But yeah, okay, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, right? So, oh yeah, they show how he gets his fear of snakes. He falls into
Yep.
the snake the snake train on the circus
Oh
train.
God. Yeah. I just got a whiff of that. I got the shivers. Yep.
Yeah, what a great scene! And River Phoenix is, I believe,
Yeah, I
his
think so.
last role
Yep.
as a young
He was
indie.
wonderful in that.
Showed how he got his scar when he like trying to
Yep.
tame the lion whipping.
How he gets the hat.
Yep, and how he got the hat from the Tomb Raider, if you will, the guy
Yeah.
who finds it. Goes and then then his father, played by Sean Connery, goes missing on his quest for the Holy Grail, and like yeah,
Casting.
oh absolutely
Perfect
perfect
casting.
casting. Like you throw Nazis in,
Yep.
I'm on board. Like that's the lesser known fact is Temple of Doom's actually a prequel.
Yeah. So that I'm putting that together now
Yeah,
in my head. I'm starting to realize that. Yeah.
yeah, which is like a weird like that's why like I don't understand why I don't know Temple of Doom always felt out of place and I never knew why. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. It should have been at another. The other two should have been together.
Absolutely. So yeah, so then you got the Nazi element finding because like when if you ever watch Hellboy or like know anything
Yep.
about like
Yep.
the Nazis' obsession with the occult, to think
Yes.
like Hitler's obsession with like the spear of destiny and like getting all these like holy relics to help him fight. So then they go try to find the holy grail, if you will, the cup
Yep.
of Christ during the Last Supper for all you altar boys out there going to Sunday school. Were
Yep.
you really an altar boy though? I was
Yeah, I
gonna
was
ask
really
you.
an altar boy.
I never did
Absolutely.
it. I never
Oh, I
did it.
thought you were serious. Yeah, I was an altar boy.
I know. I heard you say it at the pizza party, and I was gonna ask you if you really were.
Yeah, I was an altar boy. Fourth, I was probably like fourth grade to sixth grade.
I never did it. I never did it. Never had the chops.
No, those days are behind me. I've moved on, but yeah, yeah, that was it was a rough crew too, man. The altar boys.
Yeah,
Used to,
smoking cigarettes in the back.
I tell you, man, they used to send us. We used to have this amusement park, a small amusement park called Rocky Point over in Rhode Island, and they put us all on the bus, all the altar boys. There was like 20 of us at one point,
Jesus.
and it was bad. Like it was the stuff I learned on that bus and the stuff
Speaking,
we used to do. It was bad news. We were bad altar boys.
do you burn incense?
Do I burn incense
Yeah.
all the time? Yeah, yeah. Like currently, or when I was an altar boy,
Well, no, currently.
I'm constantly burning incense at my
Same,
house.
same. I'm
What do you
like this.
burn?
Frankincense and myrrh.
Oh, nice. I have great respect for that. Absolutely. Frankincense and myrrh, that's class right there. I mean, I respect you. I love you. That's your next level now, man.
I have a whole drawer, but I prefer the frankincense for sure.
I do. I in my room, my gaming room, it's the Nag Champa, and
Yeah,
then my wife got white sage and like the real white sage, and it's really really good. But frankincense and myrrh, my father got me some really nice frankincense, they're like the little nuggets, like they look like wax nuggets almost. The real stuff.
oh wow,
You put
that's
it on a
awesome.
little because like when you're an altar boy too, when you do the funerals, they put it in the miter, the censer.
Sensor. Yep.
There's like a little it's like a little black wafer almost with a star on top. You put the incense on top of it, like the waxy nuggets. You like that, and it's almost like the black snakes,
Hmm.
from the fireworks, it sparks. The
Yeah.
Last Crusade, the incense burning. Yeah, is
Yeah.
that what
Yeah. What's that?
you're burning incense?
Oh yeah, I've always burned incense, but like the in-laws were just here, and the my father-in-law has like he can't really do smells, so
Yeah,
I've been a week without incense down here, but so now I'm
yeah,
just like cranking it out.
yeah.
Um, I had like a Kabbalah Tree of Life one that I burned out. That was an interesting one.
It's like one stick.
No, it was a whole. I still probably have the box in here. It's a whole one. It was just called like Kabbalah Tree of Life for some reason. I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't find the
incense
box.
is awesome.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, for sure. And then you ever do the blowback ones, like the cones that shoot the smoke down into things. I have like a skull, like
Yeah,
crystal LED skull crystal one that like it bellows into it and it just like rolls down it. It's
they're
very
awesome.
majestic. Yeah.
My son has like a dragon one, and it like it comes out of the dragon's mouth. He goes nuts with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. And I
I
got
really.
like I got a little like clay cabin.
Hmm.
But you put like there's a pine scented cone that you put in there, and it comes out through the chimney. Do that around Christmas time.
That's awesome. Yeah, I figured we would get in on the incense action.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I burn a lot of incense.
I got to
Yeah.
go back to the Last Crusade.
Okay.
I gotta. That's like out of all of them, and I haven't got through the Crystal Skull, but it was always for me, Temple of Doom and Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I think Last Crusade was the one I've seen the least, so I do want to rewatch that. That's a
So we like we lived abroad for 3 years, like as I brought up. Went to Venice, and
yeah,
and my wife, she's like, all I want to do a gondola ride. Like you got to do a gondola ride. So then we do this gondola ride, right? And he takes us out to open water. It's like the scene is set like
wow,
in Indiana Jones when they're
yeah,
fighting in the motorboats through like through Venice, and then they
the
end up like
canals,
out
yeah,
there. I was like, oh, here we go. This is the Indiana Jones Last Crusade scene right here.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I would love to check out Venice. I mean, it's getting crazy over there. I think.
Yeah, I mean Venice is sinking.
Yeah, and the water's filthy. They say, right?
Oh yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I'd love
Yeah.
to check it out though. That's
Oh,
cool. All
it's
right,
it's it's
that's
definitely
definitely going to be on this week's list to rewatch.
Last Crusade. Yeah, I mean, then like it's got like the ancient, like biblical time stuff. He goes to the Knights Templar. That's booby trapped.
Yeah,
So it's like it's its own little D&D like dungeon he goes
it
through.
is. That out of all three of those in particular, that one is the
Yeah.
most D&D.
Yeah, because he solves the riddle. It's like a riddle that goes to Spike Pit, literally, like out of any 12-year-old's like homebrewed
Yeah,
dungeon.
you got to have the spike pit.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and then it's got the blades that decapitate them if they don't kneel. Like the penitent man shall pass.
He is just in that role, man. Harrison Ford, he just owns that.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
like there is no. I don't know the guy, but I'm just seeing like that's him. How much is acting and how much is that? That's how he really is. It's just the comfort in that
Yep.
character.
So it all culminates into the end where he meets a Knights Templar who's been guarding
Yep.
the Grail since what, like the 1300s.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I love it when they bring in the supernatural into Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
uh,
Like, I mean, the
it's
Ark of the Covenant.
beyond the normal action movie is the very tasteful incorporation of the supernatural.
Absolutely. Especially like you got the Ark of the Covenant. So how are you
Yeah.
gonna like what are you gonna do with that? Like you got the Ten Commandments,
Yep.
like in a box. How do you beat that? The Last Supper cup there, the art of
Yep.
the
The
last,
Grail.
yeah, the Holy Grail. Yeah, I couldn't even think of it for
Yeah.
a second. So that was my number two. It was definitely a nostalgic pick. Great, but like I mean, think about it too. It's a third one, so it sets the
Yeah.
stakes even higher, bigger set, and Indiana Jones like made the map, the line going through the map to the spaces. Like I'm pretty sure like they invented that.
That was so awesome. What a clever point, a plot point. Yeah,
Yeah,
to move something along.
yeah, awesome, awesome movies.
I think Indiana Jones is under. I'll tell you, I I fear that it's fading away.
Well, there's a new one coming out.
Is there?
Yeah.
I'm just saying you don't hear about Indiana Jones that much in popular culture anymore.
Well, like when and it's big at the during Last Crusade was the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, the
The
show.
TV show.
Hmm.
How was that? You ever watched that?
Not at all.
I never watched it either. Huh? Never.
I know there was like there was like a younger Indiana Jones episodes, and then there was like I would say mid like early 20s, maybe
Yeah.
like 18-year-old Indiana Jones, because I'm pretty sure River Phoenix was setting up that show.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yep.
He
So
always played some of my favorite characters, man.
yeah,
The Explorers, Chris
S-
Chambers.
Stand by Me.
Chris Chambers. Yep.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. All right. So that was my number two. Your number two was
Batman.
Batman Returns. Number one. What's your number one?
This is the one that messed me up like 20 minutes. So I'm upstairs. I just ate pizza and I'll show you the album sometime, but it's like my Saturday night album. And it's like, Italian party hits. And the song comes on and I said, "Holy cow, what am I doing? Get me my pen. I got to cross something out." Godfather 2.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were gonna pick Godfather too.
Godfather 2.
It got
And
talked about in the chat.
yeah, I saw that before, but Godfather 2, it's just I don't know, man. There's something to it. And like, I'm not even the mafia. I'm more into people that work hard for their money kind of
Right.
guy, And I'm part Italian, but I don't buy into the whole mafia thing. It's funny and all that, but I respect hardworking people who take care of each other, not that kind of nonsense. But Godfather 2, it just shows where I just like how it shows where it came from in the history and
Yeah.
how people get started. There's a cool historical aspect to it. And I love Al Pacino in that role, to seeing the character develop. Once again, it's that sequel where everything falls apart. It's one of those dark things, man. There is no hero in that movie. There's no hero.
Yeah.
Everybody is bad news. The bastard even hits his wife. That's like the worst scene in the movie. Forget about everybody killing him. To me, that's when it stung the most, when he strikes his wife. Like, holy cow, these are bad dudes. And then Fredo turning on him. I love the character of Fredo. I love that actor. He was in I think, wasn't he the guy in Dog Day Afternoon? That's one of my favorite movies too. But
I don't know. Could be.
Fredo, just everything about that movie, the conspiracies, like just how everything is worked in together. You can't trust anybody when they talk about the guy what's his name? He talks. I forget everybody's names. There's so much in this movie. It does not fit the 90-minute rule. This thing is like 3 hours and 15 minutes. It's an epic. It's an American epic.
Yeah, it's a prequel, right? The second one.
Well, no, it's a mix. So it's a prequel, and so that's the thing, and that's why people don't like the movie when it came out, because it confused people. It didn't go deep enough into the characters of both, because you have the father, you have Brando's character. It's how he started out, coming from Sicily over, and how he became where he was and who he is, and that split with Michael, like with Pacino, about what he is doing now. So it's two movies. It's two movies in one.
Gotcha.
It's a prequel, and then it's afterwards as Michael takes over and makes the name for himself, and how all the families start to. That's why I like this, because once again, it's when everything starts to fall apart. You can't trust anybody. The families aren't working anymore. People are starting to get involved it's not racketeering anymore. They're getting into drugs. They're getting into casinos. They're getting into Cuba, and they're working with stuff down there. So complicated movie. The rise and downfall of a family.
Yeah.
How a family can fall apart so quickly.
They're
There's a domestic aspect to it. Take the mafia part of it out, and it's just like getting along with family and growing up, and how families splinter. It's a heartbreaking film.
very good. They're killing me in the chat. They're saying that Indiana Jones was not the first movie to do the over the map
Oh, really?
montage. Yeah, he's saying Casablanca did it first. Wait, what was I
Oh, yeah,
wrong?
maybe.
What was I wrong about the CGI? No, that's not. Labyrinth was definitely the first time CGI was ever used. Like, I'm checking this.
Vertigo. Oh, he's saying Vertigo. Hitchcock's Vertigo.
What about it?
That was the first use of. Is that what he's saying? Are you saying that Vertigo was the first use of CGI? Huh.
It boasts the first CGI. Oh, first CGI animal. Sorry, Jared. Yeah, so the first CGI animal was Labyrinth. The most elaborate visual effects were impressively achieved in front of the camera. The film does boast one CGI milestone. The owl that appears in the beginning of the movie is widely regarded as the first realistic CGI animal to appear on the big screen.
In Labyrinth?
Yeah.
I wonder what Hyper Sigil Games is talking about with Vertigo.
Apparently, Vertigo
A
used
primitive form of it. Okay.
primitive form of CG.
That's one of my favorite Hitchcock films. Definitely.
Okay, so hot take: I'm not a huge Hitchcock guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Hitchcock.
I could give or take it. I mean, Psycho, sure. I don't know. That's a rabbit hole. I mean, you know my number one. You know it.
I don't know if I do.
Well, let's hear it.
Now that Dawn is off the list.
Well, so I actually have a tie for my number one. Technically, no, not even North by Northwest. So because I picked it this was my go-to. I was like, I knew my number one before I knew anything else because Dawn was off the list. I couldn't put Dawn as number one because
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the guy who puts Dawn of the Dead as number one twice. So one would consider this. I mean, by name it's a sequel, but by movie it's essentially a remake. So I didn't necessarily want to
Have
Um,
we talked about this movie before on the show?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Are we talking about
It's not.
T2?
It's not T2 because T. No, because Terminator 2 is not a essentially a
Not
remake
a
of Terminator
remake.
1.
Yeah. Oh,
No.
I brought it up.
Yeah.
Oh, Evil Dead.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah. So Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness are like tied for number one for me.
Evil Dead 2 is such a weird movie.
Hmm.
Just in terms of, I'm talking about, forget about the content. Like that it's awesome, but the format.
Yeah. What a format, huh?
I remember the first time I saw, I'm like, wait a second, what's going on here? Are we going back? How are they doing this?
Yeah. So like what like I really would like to do some research. I'm sure Sam Raimi has talked about it on like why Evil Dead 2 is the way it is.
Yeah,
Because like I never saw Evil Evil Dead 1 until after I saw. Okay, so I saw Army of Darkness first.
me too.
Probably
Army
like
of
yeah, I
Darkness first.
was going to say probably like
Absolutely.
a lot of
Yep.
people our age. Army of
Same experience.
Darkness was like our first foray into the Sam Raimi
Yep.
like Necronomicon Ex Mortis, right? So
Absolutely.
okay, so like fast forward a little bit, get my hands on Evil Dead 2. Saw Evil Dead 2 because everyone said, "Oh, you don't need to watch Evil Dead 1. You don't need to watch
Yeah.
Evil Dead
Yeah.
1." Because you really don't. So yeah, so then I finally got like my parents got me Evil Dead 1 on VHS for Christmas one year.
Oh
Like
wow.
yeah, I know. Like
That's awesome,
I don't
man.
think they knew like exactly like what it entailed, but I remember like getting it and watching it, and then the whole tree scene.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That will always go down in infamy as one of the most, yeah.
yeah. So, um, yeah, so yeah, it's essentially like, is it a remake though? Because or is it like Ash just being that cheap that he takes another female,
That's the thing. Is this a second date?
right? Like that's like the thing. I don't know,
But why would he go back to that place?
because he's that guy.
That movie is disturbing.
Yeah,
It is
and
disturbing.
then his girlfriend Sheila
Yeah.
gets the thing in the woods. I guess they don't really ever have a name for it though, right?
What a cool concept, man. Just running with the camera. That's scary.
Well, yeah, it's like like less is more in
Yep.
Evil Dead for sure. So like the evil in the woods affect infects people and turns them into deadites. What they
Yep.
the
Yep.
So they're not zombies and they're not demons. They're essentially like a mix of both.
Yeah.
So because some of them have superhuman strength, but then they could be like dismembered like a normal person zombie.
There's no rules.
Yeah,
Like,
that's yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, there's no rules in these movies.
There's no rules. So Evil Dead 2, like the darkness gets into him, but he cuts it off at the hand and chops
Yep.
his own hand off, as we all know. Very iconic chainsaw wielding,
Chainsaw hand.
chainsaw hand, shotgun wielding protagonist that like ends up the evil sucks him into the past to
And
where
he flips on and off the whole movie.
oh absolutely
He kills more people than anybody else. Like good, like non-evil people,
yeah
right?
yeah yeah
But
definitely
I was reading about the lady in the basement. You know, the guy who was doing the original research, his wife in the basement. Like that was Sam Raimi's brother, and the latex and the heat were so bad that they would like. There's a scene, I guess, where you can see sweat coming
man.
out of the ear
Oh,
from the costume, and they would have to like open up the costume and drain it, and you'd get liters of sweat out of it.
damn
It's
damn
just like it's manic. That another one of those movies where it's just nonstop. You get no time to breathe in that
yeah.
movie.
Oh, speaking of that, have you seen the remake of it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's definitely one of the finer remakes out there, hands
Okay,
down.
cool,
It's
cool.
like
I was thinking about should I watch it or not, but you recommend it?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of them. So like when it comes to remakes, Hills Have Eyes remake
Yes,
is
Bry. I almost brought that up before.
yeah, I
Yep.
was going to bring up Hills Have Eyes Part 2, but we'll save that for another time. Um Yeah, Hills Have Eyes remake because I want to do a remake episode too. We got to do a remake episode.
We got to. I think that's a great idea. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole at Hills Have Eyes now, but that's on my list, like the list.
The list, yeah, the first one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I have part two on VHS. I think I gotta find a part one. I'd
But
have to
even
look.
the remakes, like kind of existing in that same Rob Zombie world a little bit too, right?
Absolutely, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who made it is like that French director that did High Tension.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like so the pedigree's there. He definitely did Hills Have Eyes justice. But like Evil Dead is in that same vein. It's like it's brutal.
Yeah. Nonstop, and it's a perfect blend of humor and terror. And even the humor itself, it's so crazy that it can be fear inducing,
Yeah, absolutely.
maniacal, like insanity, like the real definition of it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah. Look at the part like before the daughter comes to the cabin,
Yeah.
and it's like everything's like laughing.
Everything's so the two things that really strike me in this movie: the laughing and the speed of things.
Yeah.
Time is never constant in that movie, and it's very unsettling. I don't, and that's the thing too. We talk about Hitchcock, where every single thing is so intentional, and I wonder about the intentionality of all that kind of stuff gelling together to make such a frightening, but funny at the same time movie, because there's just so many things going on in that at once.
Yeah. Absolutely. I guarantee that.
And
Okay. So,
it's got that Dead Alive feel too.
oh my God. Yeah. I was talking to Eric, like my buddy Eric online, and he's never seen Dead Alive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, drop what you're doing, find a copy, and watch Dead Alive.
I saw Dead Alive, and I probably saw Evil Dead 2 when like IFC was just starting out. When our cable company got IFC, they would show those movies. I'm for sure that's where I saw um not Evil Dead, but Dead Alive.
Right. Dead Alive. Oh, excuse me, is so phenomenal.
Yep, it's a great one.
Yeah, that's like I mean like Meet the Feebles. Have you ever seen Meet the Feebles?
What?
It's a Peter Jackson like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
the Muppet movie.
yeah,
So
yeah.
bad taste like
Bad taste. Yes,
the
yes.
aliens and the
Yep.
burger place. And Dead Alive, like I knew Peter Jackson is like, obviously like this schlock
Yeah,
like gore over the top gore guy, and like all of a sudden he's making Lord of the Rings and you're like,
yeah.
what is going on?
One of the biggest movies of all time.
Yeah, it's so wild.
Somebody wrote Five O. I'm guessing his number one is Five O Goes West.
Hell yeah.
Those movies are so depressing.
Where the hell do you see Five Goes West?
Somebody wrote it down there. Let's see. Doc a Flock of Flame.
Oh, he
I'm
did.
guessing somebody
Oh,
said Terminator 2, and he goes, I'm guessing number is Five O Goes West.
Oh, yeah, he was because I was like, I was trying to get you to guess my number one.
Yeah,
No,
but
Five Goes West is not as good. Well, okay, well that's the thing. We never really said that this was an episode. It's just sequels that don't suck, not necessarily are better than the original.
Evil Dead 2, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that was like so like I sometimes like the list I don't really mess with the list until like a couple days prior to filming. I mean, I always got it in the back of my mind. I'm always thinking about it, but like um yeah, then once I was like, you know what? I can't put Dawn on it like cuz obviously that was
Yeah.
going to be my number 1. So I was like, let Evil Dead 2 obviously. Obviously Evil Dead 2 is my number 1. And then I honorable mention slash Army of Darkness with it because like
Yeah, sure.
it's iconic. It's
They
just
kind
as
of
good.
go hand in hand.
Yeah, and Army of Darkness, because Evil Dead 1 was so low budget that Evil Dead 2 essentially is Evil Dead 1. So, like, Army of Darkness being the direct sequel to Evil Dead 2, speaking
Yeah.
of that, which is another movie that takes place
Takes
right
place right
after.
after.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's got a bigger budget, it's got bigger stakes, it's got a bigger set. It fits the sequel formula better than
They did
Evil Dead
well.
2 does.
They did well with that one.
Absolutely. They took it out of they took it out of the horror genre essentially and like maxed it into this mixture genre of fantasy, like a Yankee in King Arthur's Court or a
Yeah,
Connecticut or whatever it's called,
yeah,
um, like Man Out of Time,
yeah.
with horror elements. Is it a Yankee or is it
A Yankee in King Arthur's Court.
is it a Yankee? I thought it was like. I mean, you're the scholar out of us.
I,
I thought there
I
was
believe I believe it's a Yankee in King Arthur's Court.
a
Yeah.
Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court.
Is it a Connecticut Yankee? I should know that. I'm in Connecticut for crying
Yeah.
out loud.
So you know how here's a little Connecticut information for you. Do you know? So New Yorkers are called Yankees, right?
Yeah.
What is someone from Connecticut called?
A nutmegger.
Yep, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
that.
They used to scam people. Did you know that? It's a nutmegger is almost a derogatory term, I think. They used
Interesting.
to I from what I remember, I think I heard this on a field trip once, is that they used to pass off nutmeg shavings as cinnamon. Cinnamon was the more desired expensive spice,
Right.
and they would use nutmeg. So swindlers. Yeah, nutmegger.
Yes, that is 100% true. That's awesome. I thought I was gonna stump you on that little piece of Connecticut history,
Connecticut. It's a weird state.
but the interesting thing about a Yankee in Connecticut's Court was written by Mark Twain,
Yeah.
which is buried in my hometown.
Is he really?
Yep.
Oh wow. We have Eugene O'Neill in my town. I'm in New London. Eugene O'Neill, the playwright,
Interesting.
the Iceman cometh and whatnot, and allegedly the house where where his mother died insane and on opium is right down the street. Supposed to be haunted.
Oh, no doubt about that.
Yeah, we got a lot of haunted places around here allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't like New England and New York and New Jersey
Yeah.
be like haunted? Because I mean, like not only like original 13 colonies, but Revolutionary War like ravaged this whole part of the country.
Well, sure. And then you add on top of it the colonists coming in, and we had very active indigenous people here too. It was
Yeah.
highly concentrated because of our access to the sea and all that in the land. So they're coming in. Yeah, a lot of blood on this soil.
That is true. So interesting. So I have a buddy. I know this is like a tangent. I have a buddy. Well, I had a buddy. I don't really ever talk to him anymore. His grandpa worked for NASA, and he worked on the moon rover. So he ended up being like obviously like well off. So
Yeah.
as like upstate New York, in Oriskany, New York, they were excavating a pool, a swimming pool. They actually dug up a cannonball from the Battle of Oriskany, like
Wow.
in his backyard, and it's like in the pool house, like on the table.
Nice. I thought you were gonna say a skull. I'm like, uh-oh.
I wish, but
Back to poltergeist.
the Battle of Oriskany is quite an interesting tale to be told
Well,
from
who
the
was the battle between?
the
The British.
Battle of Oriskany was General Herkimer on his way to Fort Ticonderoga
Oh, all right.
was ambushed by um, um, like British loyalists and some Native Americans, and they were slaughtered in a creek. Well, most of them were slaughtered, but General Herkimer survived, was wounded in battle, and they brought him to a tree and surrounded the tree and ended up fighting off most of the Hessians and the Loyalists and the. There, I don't think there was any redcoats involved in the battle, but they ended up um, making it to Fort Ticonderoga because they were like the reinforcements.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
ended up making it, but like they had to leave the dead behind, and then the party from the rear um, to inter the bodies and bring them back was actually orchestrated by Benedict Arnold, and he just covered it up, and it's a mass grave now,
So we do in town they do burnings of Benedict Arnold every
like
summer.
effigies.
Effigy burning. Yeah. They burn him down at the pier every year. So it's weird.
I need to go to this.
Yeah, yeah. They bring it down. They have like the drumming, the fife and drums corpse down there,
Yeah,
and they they hoist this dummy up and they set him on fire. I never have been. It's in the front page of the paper
Oh
every.
my God, that's
We got a lot of forts. We're right on the Thames River, so we have forts on either side. Over by the submarine base, there's a beautiful fort over there. There's Fort Trumbull, and we have another fort on the other side. Geez, I go there every weekend. We take the kids, but yeah, a lot of bloody land around here.
but yeah, like
Fort
and then
Griswold, that's what it was. Fort Griswold.
I have to check it out. But if you go up to the Riskany Battlefield site, it's like a historical site,
Yeah,
and it's haunted as hell. You can hear we used to break in at night as like like in our early 20s and stuff,
yeah.
and that was like my first real encounter with the supernatural. Like I know like this is like an open public forum and there's a lot of like haters out there, but definitely if you're on that bridge at night and you're like at the creek, you can hear like the horses like galloping like through the water and stuff. Like for
That's it.
sure.
We we. Oh man, yeah. All right. We got to talk some supernatural
Yeah,
sometime.
we will because there's more to Riskany Battlefield I'm not going to bring up here because people will laugh at us.
I don't think so, man. I think if people are watching two dudes like us, I'm guessing they're in. Are you guys in? I'm
Well,
guessing they're in on that stuff.
for
But
some late night
this
late
was good, man. This was I really liked the sequels.
Yeah, so yeah, if they were for some scary stories to tell in the dark. What was the name of that show?
Scary stories. I don't know.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yeah,
Oh my God.
that was great. We watched when Elvis, my son, was little. We watched those all the time on YouTube before he
Yeah,
went to.
I got him on the hard drive. I got him on a hard
There's
drive.
some spooky ones, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Tales from the
Abs
Dark. I grew up on Tales from the Dark Side. I love that show growing up.
yeah.
That has
Yeah.
some good ones. But yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark was good. They came back out with new ones. I don't know if they're any good or not. It's not the same kind of feel.
Yeah, I won't. It's not it doesn't have the look. You need the look.
It's called Get Haunted, for crying out loud. Bring it on, they say.
Oh yeah, you are Get Haunted Industries.
My dad has a great story when he went to college out in Colorado and his experience with La Llorona. Like we knew about that, but like when that movie came out, like, oh, Dad, you're not gonna believe it. But he's got a great ghost story about experiencing the weeping woman out in the Purgatory River in Colorado
Oh wow.
in the 1960s. Yeah, cool stuff.
Very
Well, this is
awesome.
a good one, man. I like talking about sequels, and I think remakes is a great idea.
Yeah, so what were we Grindhouse for the next one? Or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's hold off on the Grindhouse one. And people were saying they wanted cartoon. Let's do Saturday mornings. Let's lighten it up.
Ooh,
We've been hitting the horror movies. We've been hitting the like the sci-fi. Let's go Saturday morning cartoons and
love it.
serials.
Love it.
You
Absolutely.
gotta you gotta take a show and pair it with a breakfast cereal.
Jeff's Kiss. I absolutely adore this. We have been getting quite dark. So
Yeah,
this will get us on a whole new rainbow path of beauty. So
yeah.
thank you for whoever suggested that. And to you, the pairing. This is nice. I'll be like a cereal sommelier.
So,
Wonderful idea.
so 7 cartoons, and then 8 we'll do Grindhouse. We'll go back.
Yeah,
Wizard,
we'll wash our brains a little bit. We'll
well,
get out of the darkness.
Gordon Herschel Lewis.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll work. All right. So then, um, yeah. Before we sign off, I wanted to go down the popcorn Primavera
Yeah.
list. So it's public record, so everyone knows what we got. Yes, all the old episodes are on YouTube on Neon Lords. I don't know the exact URL, but you could just type in Ravioli for Randy, and they actually come up. I don't know what happened to Joey.
Uh-oh. My computer's acting weird. I'm back.
Okay. All
Running
right.
low.
Excellent. Excellent. Did you probably heard everything though?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So they asked in the comments if the YouTube had the episodes, and they are there. You can watch all probably like 10 hours of us talking about chit chat.
Everything.
All
Everything.
all right. So to preface for the newcomers to the show, Popcorn Primavera is going to be a Zoom watch party that me and Joey are going to host, And I mean, it's open to anybody. Anybody. If we get 50 people watching a movie, it might bog down, but like we'll figure it out. We're not going to turn anybody away.
Yeah,
So
we
it's
need you guys for this.
yeah. So it's going to be a watch party. So we're going to watch a random movie all together on Twitch. So it's we have a popcorn Primavera 20, which is a list of obviously 20 movies, and we're gonna roll a d20, and then whatever the dice comes up is the movie we're gonna watch. Like we're gonna go in blind, but the
There's some
thing is,
bangers on there.
yeah, there's some bangers. So the thing is, number one is always going to be Munchie, even if we critical fail three popcorn primaveras in a row. Munchie never leaves the list. It's the same as a Nat 20 gets us Mac and Me every time. We could watch Mac and Me 5 times in a row.
I won't complain.
No, I love Mac and Me. I'll probably even watch it tomorrow. I love that movie.
I
So
watched it last weekend. It was awesome.
yeah, it's a good one. So with that being said, so if a movie gets picked, like if we roll a 2, Freaked is number 2, that gets watched, goes off the list, so that something takes its place. So there's always a revolving list of movies. So Popcorn Primavera 20 goes 1 Munchie, 2 Freaked, 3 2009 After the Fall of New York, 4 Street Trash, 5 is Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bolorama. 6 is Toxic Avenger 1. 7 Psycho Gorman. 8 Ninja 3 The Domination. Number 9 is Deathstalker. 10 is Troll 2. 11 is Spookies. 12 is Class of Nukem High. 13 Suburban Commando. 14 Wild Zero. 15 is Tammy and the T-Rex. 16 is TC 2000. 17 is New York Ninja. 18 is Hell Comes to Frogtown 2. 19 is Neon Maniacs, and 20 is Mac and Me.
Can't go wrong.
It's a good list.
Yeah, it's basically the best movies ever made.
You ever see Spookies?
No, I never saw it. Is this the one where they go into the cemetery, the house in the cemetery?
Yeah, and it's like three
I watched it.
movies.
Yeah, I watched it 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, of course I have it on the list.
I didn't finish it, so that'll be good to watch. I got halfway through it.
I got it on Blu-ray specifically for this.
It is spooky, man. It's weird.
Yeah.
It is weird for sure.
That's
I can't wait. I
it's
mean, you can't go wrong. And the suspense of which one will pop up will be really cool.
Yep, there is a sequel to Hell Comes to Frogtown, and it's Robert Zadar plays the Roddy Piper character they were asking in the chat.
No more Roddy. More Roddy in that one.
Return to Frogtown, I believe it's called.
Yep.
So, yeah. With that being said, that's a wrap for episode. What is this, number 6?
Number 6, man. These are flying by.
Yeah.
And thanks to everybody who was talking it up in the chat.
Yeah, the chat went wild.
Everybody. Chat went really well tonight, and Pasta Primavera, that's going to be off the charts.
Yeah. We got to figure out. We got to get a hard date out there for Popcorn Primavera.
We'll do that this week, Bri.
Yeah, we'll brainstorm between today and let's say by Wednesday.
Good. Let's have to get prepared. They'll have to get the perfect Popcorn Primavera bowl. Get everything set up to get the right socks on. To keep up their feet and watch one of these with us.
Yep. So we will we'll put that out to the public, the Neon Maniacs everywhere, the Popcorn Primavera Day, and then on the day I'll probably make like a Facebook group chat or something I don't know. We'll figure it out. The logistics down the road once we get it, just to give out the list, because I don't necessarily want to put out the Zoom code like.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's. Yeah, then someone just like comes on and flashes their junk, because that'll happen.
Of course, with this crew, yeah, we'll get it out to the people who need to have it.
Yeah. So, yep. Everyone's saying thank you, and on that note, Joey,
everybody,
thank you. You got anything for the people? Where can they find you? Where can they get your books?
Yeah. So if you need anything, I got Darkest Ice, Ninja City, and One of Us on the Goodman Gabe's website. And then if anybody's interested in WHPA, you can get me at LordBlood, BLUDD, @gmail.com. And Neon Lord was good enough to push me to get a Facebook page. So Joy Royale on there. and there is a WHPA Fairhaven page as well. That's really fun with a lot of interesting, creative people submitting stuff to that. Neon Lord.
I mean, same places. You know where to find me. Most people on here probably have my book. I actually had to stop the Game Found. You can no longer buy a book there because I was running out. People were buying them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't sell them anymore. So if you don't have a copy and you're looking for it, go to exaltedfuneral.com, buy it from them so I look cool and they want to buy more from me, which I don't have any to sell them, but
And we
it,
got more stuff coming between the
yep,
two of us. We're
there's
gonna
a lot on the docket.
a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, I know we have a Kickstarter in August for a second printing. I can easily talk about that because it's almost April already.
And I think me and you are finally going to get together in person in August as well.
Yep.
Up at Anchor Con in
An-
upstate New York.
Anchor Con in Clay, New York. You will see us live. You can come to the Get Haunted Super Savage Haunted table,
It's going to be
which
crazy.
I'm trying to get another group of guys that make a game up here too.
Awesome.
So hopefully we have like a group like of like-minded like VHS heads that make
Weirdos.
games. Weirdos, yeah.
Tell them what they are. Weirdos, and be proud of it.
Oh, absolutely. Like I definitely want to build like me, you, Jared, like
Yeah.
game creators that are on the cusp because like we're not like the grognards like that play
No.
like the fan like yeah, I mean you got your DCC stuff, but we're not like the normal people when it comes to like role playing games, and I think I like that. So I want to
Yep.
make like a misfits like Avengers group, like a super group of RPG misfits
I love that.
that don't do the fantasy thing too much. Like
Yep.
I mean
I
I
love
don't like Darkest Dice, yeah, is fantasy, but it's not it's not.
the whole point of that is just to disrupt.
Right, exactly. So like you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like oh well like your short sword elf
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah like
We are our conglomerate is exploring new tropes of
yeah
adventure.
explores in the further reaches of what's he say it's like Hellraiser, he says something like that. He's like well what are you, he's like explorers in the further reaches of something, he's like demons to some, angels to others.
Angels to others,
Yeah, but he
yes.
says like explorers in the further reaches of human I don't think he says humanity. I'll look it up after this. But yeah, you know where to find Joey. You get all his stuff on Goodman Games. You get me on Exalted Funeral. Other than that, we'll get out the popcorn primavera stuff, and you'll see us in 2 weeks talking about sugary cereals and cartoons.
Thanks,
So on
everybody.
that, thank you. Have a good night. We will see you later.
Toxic Wasteland will be right back. But first, a word from our sponsors.